Hello, Space Cowboys. Welcome to PubChat, the show where we forget about everybody else's stupid and remember our own. I'm DeadKennedyInSpace, and tonight we are going to be joined by Bob the Science Guy eventually. But in the meantime, we've got some shills with us. Dick Dawson, how are you tonight, sir?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thank you very much. Things have been really good over in the land of Dick Dawson. Life is cruising along pretty good with the whole recovery from lockdown. Although, let's face it, I pretty much live in that anyway. And happy sailing, I guess. And yourself there, Kevin?
I'm doing all right, thanks. I've got a debate coming up on my channel on the 9th at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. If anyone wants to check that out. I'll be embarrassing Barry Sheen because he thinks space is fake and he doesn't have good reasons for thinking so.
Can't wait for that, man.
Absolutely. And we've also got Aimee Hogan with us. How are you tonight?
I am great. Thank you. And yourself?
I'm doing good, thanks. And how's Matt tonight?
How are you doing?
Cranky.
Oh,
Just kidding.
Good to have you guys with us.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, just still riding high from the autism show. That was great last night. I was just so thrilled with that. It turned out wonderful. I'm happy about it. And I can't wait to do next week's. So
awesome. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
And manning the controls tonight, we have Booleanenator. How are you tonight, sir?
I am good. I too enjoyed the autism show a lot more than I even thought I would. So yeah, that was a great success. I saw a lot of positive feedback in the chat, and it was in general well received. So that's exciting. Other than that, I've been busy. I have a new roommate moving in, so the house has been topsy-turvy, but other than that, not a whole lot going on.
All right, excellent. Good to have you with us. And let's see, we've also got Mike Bertelson with us. How are you tonight, sir?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. Kind of like Dick, I'm happy to be moving on out of all of this lockdown. We went out to dinner for the first time tonight in months.
Awesome.
Still working from home, though. It looks like it probably will be for till September at least. Everything else is going pretty good, though. Pool's open, and so we'll be spending a lot of time in the backyard.
All right. Yeah, we're definitely in for the long haul, so do stay safe. And I said he'd be joining us soon. I didn't think he'd be that on the ball about it. Dr. Bob, how are you tonight, sir?
I'm Johnny on the spot, or Bobby on the spot, as the case may be. Sorry I ran just a couple minutes late. The telescope came in today, and I've been setting it up.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
What do you tell us about it?
Well, I tell you about it when I show it to you. Hang on.
That works too.
Let's see now. We got me? No, not yet. Make sure that's not porn. Cam twist. How about face cam? How's that work? Has that got me now?
There you go.
I think Bull will need a second. Oh, okay, cool. There we go.
Ah, nice.
Any chance, Bull, you could throw something together to bring them like full screen?
Is that a Dobson?
Real quick while we're doing this? Oh, look at that. Bull is the man. Oh, yeah.
Although, give him a moment. We need to shut up.
Yeah.
There you go. That is a Reagan Error 10-inch Smith Castlegren.
Ah.
It's a Mead. It's got a focal length of about 2.5 meters.
Wow.
Cool.
It's on a piece of shit mount. It's got an equatorial wedge, but the mount is probably 40 years old and all the bolts are rusted. I'm going to have a hell of a time adjusting it. So I got to figure out some way of getting now it's got a clock mechanism on it. So I can, I can just track it through the night, but it's it's an old style thing. It's state of the art 1986.
Ash Scott asked, what if the stars are more than 2 meters away?
Well, there's your problem. Yeah, that could be a problem. That could be a big problem. But I bought a new book today. I bought an ebook for $30, $32 today.
Oh yeah.
And what it is breaks the moon up into like 16 sections and goes over every freaking rock and pebble and riff on the moon. So we can actually reach out with this thing and get that close that we can sit down and we could look at things that are only a couple of miles in diameter.
Oh, wow.
That's really
That's
cool.
really cool.
This thing here has got a resolution on the moon of about 2 miles, maybe.
Wow.
Do you have a camera mount?
What's
Oh,
the
yeah.
name of that book?
Let's see, what's it called? Shoot, I'm on a page. I'm on page 234 of 308, and I just bought it today.
Nice.
So let's go see what this thing's actually called. I think it's called The Moon Up Close. I think it's called The Moon Up Close.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that would, wouldn't it? You know, sometimes these things just have the damnedest names to them.
It's kind of like Green Park in the UK. I mean, what more needs to be said, right?
Yeah. Patrick Moore's Practical Astronomy Series, The Moon in Close-Up. A Next Generation Astronomer's Guide is what it's called. It's by John Wilkerson.
That's
He
cool.
seems like an he seems like an Australian guy because the moon's upside down and stuff. But and he keeps throwing U's and words like color and stuff like that, which always kind of freaked me out a bit.
Yeah, for me, it's always weird when it's not there. So there you go.
Well, what do you expect?
So I guess you got to pick some good targets now. And
Well, I mean, the thing
figure out what
about
to
it is,
shoot.
if I want to look at the Sea of Crisis, I've got like 20 different distinct targets in the Sea of Crisis. I can make an entire video about that one sea.
Now, Bob,
Yeah.
Dr. Bob, how are you situated for eyepieces and so on? Like, how's your kit? Give us some details here.
Well, let's see. I got a 32 millimeter wide on it right now. Again, I haven't got the thing fully set up. I've got a really nice variable power one that, a Celestron that goes from 8 to 24 millimeters. That's a real nice piece.
Mm.
And I've got a ZWO camera that I got, ZWO 120 monochrome. So that's mostly going to be for the guide scope when I get a proper guide scope.
Okay, yeah.
And then Wolfie's actually sending me a camera for the main scope, which apparently is a really good one. I've had a quick look at it. It's a ZWO 294, I guess. And, it's a high definition color camera. So my goal is that I'll be able to sit out here on things like this and we'll be able to look at the moon and deep space objects and everything and just do it all live.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my goal.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mike, please.
No, I said that would be a really cool live stream. That'd be interesting to see.
Absolutely. I love this kind of thing. Myself, I have a Celestron. It's a 6-inch, longer tube, and we've got a couple of Barlows and a nice set of Meade lenses and so on. But I have nothing to do imaging yet. That's the next step. I cannot wait to get into it.
Well, I originally set it up with camera rings from my my Canon Rebel.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's just so difficult. It's just so incredibly difficult to get the focus down on that. But I've got a focuser for this one. I've got a focusing grid, so that should help me out a little bit.
Definitely.
But
it sounds like we
needs
should.
some controls. It needs some controls.
I know Reds and Astro just did some shopping and whatnot, and they seem to have got some good stuff put together. There might be something in that, but we should go to Aimee because I heard some sounds there, and I'm sure Matt has something to give us.
Yes, please.
Digital Demonic Davros for Australian $5. Can you stop sending super chats, Digital Demonic Davros?
No.
Easy, Matt.
Digital Demonic Davros. Irvite Fat Prove me wrong, drippy boy. Digital Dog Devros, what the hell is wrong with you?
No.
Australian $2. Stop saying Australian $2.
No.
Happy birthday, Glober Mom. We all love you muchly.
Happy
Thank
birthday,
you
Glover
very
Mom.
much to the both of you. Happy birthday,
I didn't
Global
know
Mom.
it was your birthday, Glober Mom, but happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy
To
birthday, TM.
you.
Sing
I
it
was
for
gonna
us, Dick.
say, we're not about to do an entirely out of sync happy birthday, are we?
No,
Well,
no,
you
no.
sing
That's
it,
just horrific.
And you can narrate it, Kevin. I'll just sit back and applaud.
Oh boy.
I love it. So, who on the panel here has seen something like in the last few weeks? You know, we're all, surfing for stupid and looking for crazy and whatnot. Who has a story to tell? Somebody's got to have something good.
Well, there's something I've seen online a lot lately that's really driving me crazy, and I'm curious to get everyone else's opinion on it because it's been stated by some sources that make you go, "Am I the crazy one?" Like for instance, pardon me, Popular Science recently put out some articles about how basically doing anything out in public ever is going to increase occurrences of coronavirus, but not Black Lives Matter protests because. And I find that very strange. God damn, we need to adjust that. That is the worst sound effect setup ever. It's like
It's kind of funny.
it's like 3 different cash register sounds and 5 different yays. Oh my god. But I don't understand the logic of these articles saying Black Lives Matter protests don't increase likelihood of coronavirus, but going out in public and doing anything else does. It seems very anti-science and it seems very politically motivated, and that's not something I like to see as something like Popular Science tweeting. Thoughts, anyone?
Well, I'll let the other people go, and then I'll just kind of put my 2 cents in since I might know something about this, maybe a little.
Okay. Mike? Amy?
I am sorry. Yeah.
All right.
I'll
come in.
I was just gonna say really quickly that I think that Kevin is right, and there's got to be some kind of political motivation because that's illogical. It's not just it doesn't even make sense. You're literally contradicting yourself in one statement.
Yeah.
It does sound like a contradiction. It really does. It doesn't really even make any sense. I couldn't even invent a technical rationale to make that make sense.
I saw that article though.
Who was
Honestly,
that?
it's absurd.
Someone said they saw the article?
That was my wife talking in the background. She's looking now.
All right. At least I'm feeling good that I'm not alone in this.
No, it's an absurd premise, and that is that anytime you get large groups of people together and violate social distancing, you're going to have an increased chance of passing this along. And, it's my opinion that the first one was the warning. I think the second one's going to be the bad one because everybody is relaxing their guard right now and thinking they're over, but they fail to realize that this happened in 15 places in the country that are ports, ports of entry and highly compact urban areas, highly very dense urban areas. What about the rest of the country? Detroit got hit, but the rest of the state didn't. Now all of a sudden we have cases in Lansing and Traverse City, and it hasn't hit me here yet, but by God, I'm wearing my mask.
Yes.
And, we've got a few super chats to catch up on here, but I just want to mention that I have a very specific response to that last one.
All right, sounds good.
Krafty Keelah for €2. Stop saying crafty. Stop saying €2.
No.
Sending everyone in the chat says in the chat and sending everyone in the chat and on the panel love heart emoji.
Okay.
Albie thinks stuff and more for us for $5 said, y'all gotta sing happy birthday Stevie Wonder style. Smiling cat face with hard eyes, smiling cat face with hard eyes for Glober Mom.
Yeah, we love Glober Mom too. Happy birthday, Glober Mom. Then we got some organists. Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you. Happy birthday,
Happy
Glober Mom.
birthday.
Birthday to
Happy
you.
birthday to
To
you.
you.
Anyways,
And you smell like one too.
John Red for Australian $2 said, "Thank you, Krafty Keelah. Get well soon." Krafty Keelah for €2 says, DKIS embrace the yay. PhD Tony for Australian $5 said, "I think the sound effect is great. The data shows that the BLM protests did not have an impact, and we need a new sound for the goat. Instead of the yay, we need to go like this."
No.
That's pretty funny.
That's funny.
Thank you, everyone.
See, that's my issue. The data shows that the BLM protest did not have an impact. That's exactly what the article says. To quote Starship Troopers, exact words of the text. And second of all, I think it's too early to make that claim. I think you're saying that the rocket hasn't blown up, but it hasn't left the launch pad yet either. And third, that's correlation without causation.
I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, it takes 2 weeks to start getting sick anyhow. And a lot of the folks that get sick just kind of gut it out at home. You know, I remember when I was doing internal medicine, these drug reps used to come by and they used to have the latest gorillacillin, you know, that killed everything smaller than a dog. And, you know, it's the greatest stuff because, you know, 32% of sinusitis is resistant to the standard antibiotics. Okay, well, that sounds great. I got to get this stuff at $300 a pop for my patients. But wait a second. That was 32% of sinus puncture aspirations, where you take a needle and shove it into the sinus through the cheek. Needless to say, we really don't do that a lot. And then you read a little further, and it was hospitalized patients with sinusitis. I've been a doctor 30 years, and I have never put a patient into the hospital for sinusitis in my life. So, I mean, you're dealing with the absolute 0.1% of the absolute sickest, most compromised patients in the country. And 32% of those patients would benefit from this $300 antibiotic. I think I'll stick with the $30 antibiotic. What do y'all think?
Yeah.
Am I guilty of malpractice for that?
No, please, please give me a Z-Pack. I'll take a Z-Pack for $5. Thank you.
Yeah. That stuff used to be $100 and something. I used to give plain old amoxil. I mean, they give that stuff away.
Right. Amoxicillin.
Exactly.
You know.
For this, the whole masks and crowds and protests and there's a whole group of people I've been running into over the past couple of weeks. I guess they're calling them anti-maskers or anti-masks now, just like anti-vaxxers. And they just refuse to wear them, and they think they're stupid, and they just want to go out and do what they want to do. And it's nuts. There's people. It's science denying in another direction is what it is.
You know, I was sitting down doing a lot of this stuff on the science denial. I was doing some stuff on questionable education. And by the way, I've got another video coming up on him in a few days. We're going to discuss the great natural versus man-made phenomenon thing. But in any event, I was going through this absolute utter horse crap. And I read a letter to the editor of my local small town paper. And the guy was saying, you know, I'm inconvenienced with this COVID stuff. I had tickets to the Final Four basketball game. I want to go down and see my basketball game. And if I get sick, I get sick.
Yeah.
Okay, well, listen, asshole. I'm sorry you're going to miss your freaking basketball game. But you're not bringing that back to my town.
Yes.
And, you know, and this is one of the very few times I absolutely lost my shit in public over somebody that I'm tired of listening to these people with their freaking me first sovereign citizen, I want to be a contrarian bullshit artist attitude.
Yeah, there's
Getting
no
worse too.
Absolutely.
there's no personal responsibility. There is absolutely none.
Well, they don't give a crap. The
No.
bottom line is they care about them,
Yep.
and they care not about anybody else.
Yeah.
You can go on out and get COVID, and the chances are that you're going. They call it the COVID cold.
Mm.
You may very well do well with it. However, if you come in contact with my mother, who is 84 years old, and she dies because of it, I'm holding you responsible.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah, I saw an article today where a group of students in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, they're having COVID-19 parties, and the first person to test positive after the party gets a sum of money.
Kind of like
What?
Yes.
kind of like the
And I
group
thought,
pool.
yeah, and I thought it was bullshit too. And I went and looked, and there was, the city mayor was talking about it, and they're trying to figure out what to do about it. It's like, what the hell are people thinking? Now the student gets it. Let's say he does test positive, goes home, kills grandma. What's he going to be doing then?
Right?
Good Lord.
Boom.
Someone in the chat has a great idea. So make your own masks, right? And market them as anti-chemtrail masks.
Everybody be wearing them. Oh yeah.
Does each one come with a free vaccine?
Do they have
that
CC
feels
from
real,
New
but we
York's
can
picture?
vaccinate you for it. That'll make their heads explode.
But also,
would be
we've got another super chat to get caught up with there.
Oh yeah, we got a string here.
Alpy thinks stuff and more for $2 said. Steve is blind, not deaf. Go to the emojis.
Oh, you want me to do the emojis?
Face with tears of joy. Heart with ribbon. That's it exactly right.
Okay, then we go down. Oh, they're gonna scroll.
Glober Mom for $5 said. That's all. Thanks all. Nice and out of sync. Just the way I like. Matt, you rock. Then change the cha-ching sound to John Rapp for Australian $2 said, love the descriptions, Matt. Rolling on the floor laughing, face with tears of joy. Man face palming, cookie, rocket, Milky Way, comet, birthday cake, okay hand. And also, let's change the cha-ching sound. Let's change it for tomorrow. Let's change it to this.
Julia, what the hell is wrong with you?
No. My
I
hair
just
is getting
might.
grayer.
Get that kid his own microphone.
Needs his own show.
Boy, they like that video I put on Common Sense today. I did a pseudoscience and fakery video for Common Sense Science.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking number one. It was a rehash of one that I had done a while ago on Phuket and P-Brain and Rob Skiba on the little power tricks they use to try and promote their narrative, like Skiba lensing.
Mm.
That turned out to be pretty popular, by God. I've been slacking with my videos lately. I've had so many.
I saw that today, Dr. Bob, and I loved that video. I thought it was really well put. It seemed like there was a lot of thought behind it, and you saying that there was some rehash into it. I can see that because the depth was. This wasn't just roughly put together. There was pre-thought involved. So you already had. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm getting at, right?
Well, I already did
had
that
a lot.
video.
It was good.
I already did the video.
Yeah.
And,
I liked it very much.
I did it back in February, and on my regular channel, and I put that over on Common Sense. So I think I got all the people over there that have never really had a chance to look at it.
Okay, that makes sense. Because it seems quite familiar. I wasn't sure.
Deja vu. Yeah, I
Very
do
much
some new videos over there. This is pissing me off. For the last week, I've been sitting above 990 subscribers. I have 6 more to go, and it's just driving me insane. I've got a whole music video ready for 20,000.
Oh, cool.
Well,
Were you getting in touch with Jamie? Were you in touch with Jamie, Bob?
No.
you guys heard that?
Okay.
No, I actually, Chris Dunham, the Flat Earth Wars.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know, you remember when you did the knocking on, or what was that called? The Dr. Bob theme song.
Yeah, it was Knocking on Heaven's Door turned into Dr. Bob the Science Guy, right?
Yeah, that one. You remember how I put the montage together with it?
Yes.
I put a better one together for this one.
Oh, cool. I can't wait to
I've
see.
actually learned how to do videos.
Yeah. Well, we were pretty green back then. I mean, those were the early days,
so
baby.
Green. We were so green. We still had cotyledones.
Yeah. Too funny. Oh man. Now, there was a big brouhaha I've been hearing about on Twitter and through Discord and whatnot about what was it? Was it Oakley just losing his stuff because somebody was calling him out or something? Kevin, can you?
Oh yeah, he lost his shit today. I saw that.
Oh my God,
I mean, he had an absolute metal breakdown on air.
I need a link to this. I haven't seen this.
Oh, it's on his channel. Let me get that for you.
On
I'll
his
get
channel?
that for you right now.
Yeah, it's on Oakley's channel. He
Matter of fact, we should download that.
Just to confirm,
Mike?
his channel is the Nathan Oakley 1980, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mike, do you want to give us a little rundown on how it went down? Because it sounds like you were like right into it, and I know that you're very analytical in the way that you approach this stuff.
Yeah. So he had been complaining about something. I can't remember the channel's name. Let me look at my history real quick. And so this guy came back to him. There it is. The guy's Thunderfoot. And so Thunderfoot had done this video and was talking about how gas works, and he did a fluid dynamics animation. It had some representations of molecules, and Oakley just latched on to that animation and the molecules, and he's like, you owe me an apology. And he just went through his whole usual rhetoric of curses and slurs for Globers, and about how he's dishonest and he's representing molecules as gas, as balls, and it's like, dude, you missed the whole point. And he actually cut it out of his regular chat, his regular Ballbusters stream into like an 11-minute video, and it literally is 11 minutes of him just getting madder and madder and madder. It was Nathan Oakley, rant on steroids. It was amazingly funny.
Wow, I have to see this.
Is it his most recent stream, or is it this 11-minute video?
It's cut out of his most recent stream, but it's an 11-minute video. And let me see, I got it right here.
My Thunderfoot mistake, apology and retraction.
Yes,
That's a lovely clickbait title, by the way, because it makes it sound like he's going to be the one apologizing.
Oh no, he's like demanding, and he says he's going to make it his mission in life to make Thunderfoot apologize to him. I can't wait to see how that works out.
Yeah, Thunderfoot's
insanity.
Thunderfoot is not shy about flipping people the bird. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, this is gonna be epic. He's gonna humiliate the shit out of Oakley. I can see it now.
I can't wait. Wait. Did you guys
rant?
Did you anybody on the panel here see when our own AB Science did the I'm gonna make a model for Oakley's BS with his what was it, Kevin, that Oakley was on at the time? Do you remember?
Oh, I don't know. Probably the Black Swan. That's the thing he's been hooked on the most.
No,
recently.
it was before that, and it was he was doing something with the egg and buoyancy and whatnot. So AB Science went into it and literally produced a proper model to show why it's just, and he tried to make it work for him. He really did. And Oakley lost it because AB had debunked him. But AB tried to make his idea work, and Oakley missed it entirely.
Well, I also I want to rectify a mistake I made there. I clicked off Amy's hand up because I thought I could get in right away, but I didn't.
Oh, that's okay. We got a couple. There we go.
Got the scummer for £5 said, as someone who's in an at-risk category and has had to shield almost 4 months, I have to say that these selfish COVID idiots really annoy me.
Good job with the new word.
Digital demonic Davros for Australian $2.
Can you stop sending super chats?
No.
Anyways, Digital demonic Davros for Australian $2 said, an Australian made jokingly mad as hell. Then go to hell if you're mad as hell.
No. Behave yourself. Thank you very much.
Welcome to episode 2 of the Autism Show.
That's right.
So, am I to understand that that Oakley is mad as hell and he's not going to take it anymore?
I almost spit beer all over my fucking screens on that one, Kevin.
I got 0 laughs, and I thought nobody got it.
Oh no, we got it.
I just hit the mute button in time so people didn't have to hear all that word sounds coming. It was close.
I think more of a whiny little bastard than anything else. That's the way it comes off. I mean, that's the way it typically comes off, but...
Well, yeah, like Oakley's anger is so... It's phony as hell to me.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
it's repetitive.
It's repetitive, which makes it even less sincere than it truly is, probably. Mm-hmm. And it's so fake because he knows that the Earth is actually round. He knows it. He's a Poe.
He comes across as an angry comic who's had to portray the angry comic for 20 years, and he's just so sick of it, it's not funny, but that's the character. I'm an angry comic.
Right. Exactly. That's it.
And it sounds scripted. It really does.
Yes.
You know, he's got a list of things that he says, and you can go from video to video to video, and they're the same every time.
Well, of course it's scripted. You know, the bottom line is this. He has a narrative that he's promoting, okay? And the way that he does it is, first, don't make any claims that are subject to verification or attack or falsification, okay? You can't make claims. I'm not a flat earther. I just don't believe the Earth is a globe. Prove me wrong. Okay? Yep. Second of all, you know, one of his tactics is to immediately attack you and try and put you on the defensive to put you off balance.
Right.
You know, QE tried that with me the other day, and I laughed in his face. And, you know, when you don't bite at this or you take them off their script, they don't know what to do.
Yes.
So the easiest way to really screw Oakley up is say, you know, I think you got something here. The Earth is not a globe. I can't see any evidence that it's a globe. What shape is it, Nathan? You know, I want to sit down and I want to understand this black swan. Now, you say that means the radius of the Earth is 250,000. Well, these goddamn globetards are questioning me on that. Would you mind going through the math from that with me? Yeah. How much of it dropped to the horizon from 3 feet elevation did we have? Let's just put that into. Can we derive the Al-Biruni formula together? You know, help me out with this, because I don't understand how come that angle at the center of the Earth. Why do they claim that's the same as the dip angle? You know, I just don't get it. Can you explain that to me? What's a tangent? They keep talking about these tangent lines. You know, how do you figure out the tangent of an angle? You know, you take them off the script. That's fine. And then the next thing that they do is this, what do they call it? Glishglash or whatever, where they throw, Gishgallop or whatever it is. You know, the Nathan Thompson technique where you sit down and you do 15 different assertions in 11 seconds and then say, I got to go. You know, and then they call you names and it really pisses them off when, you know, like, oh, fine, I've been called worse.
Yeah.
All right. I drive them insane with my conditions for arguing the flat Earth because condition number 2 is you, sir, are not the arbiter of truth and don't define science. I've got my own definition. I'll use that.
I love it when you lay the rules down before the conversation starts because you literally trapped them out of 3/4 of everything they were about to say, Dr. Bob.
I know. That's why I do it, because I really don't want to waste my time with stuff. And, I'm kind of, I'm old and cantankerous now. Blue's a nice guy compared to me.
He's not
Blue's nice. And, I really don't, Nathan, I'm sorry. Never in the history of science has any scientific theory, experiment, or finding been disproven by calling it a logical fallacy, and you, sir, will not be the first.
Yes. Aimee, were you looking to get in there? Sorry.
Yes, please, if I could.
Yeah,
'cause we've got some super chats building up here.
Yes, we do. Kiwis are for 5,000 Korean won. Can you stop sending 5,000 Korean won? Kiwis are for 5,000 Korean won. Said, so the GOP changed stances on masks. Trump likes how he looks like the Lone Ranger in one. For not wearing masks now.
And that's true. And then we got a couple here.
Did he actually start wearing masks?
Yeah.
Did our fearless leader decide to start setting an example for the rest of us plebes?
Yeah, exactly. No, don't tell people to hush now, please.
Godless Governor for £2 said, for €2 said, always good sing, sloppy, get triggered. More Nielsen for 17 Danish Corona said, stop saying 17 Danish super chats, Morton. Face with hand over mouth. Face savoring food.
And then the next one.
John Rep for Australian $2 said, oh, wait a minute.
No, just read the super chat, honey.
John Rep for Australian $2. Can you stop saying Australian $2, John Rep? John Rep for Australian $2 said, I'm Mathew, and I think Aussies are the awesomeness. Me?
Thank you so much, everyone.
Mathew, you're becoming a puppet. Be careful.
So to answer Bob's question, he didn't really start wearing masks. He made some comments today, and one of the ones was that if I'm in a tight situation with other people, I'll wear it, but I'm not exactly convinced it helps in general. So he sort of backpedaled and then still denied. And the one thing I found interesting today too was that it was yesterday, or the day before yesterday, the lieutenant governor in Texas went off on Fauci, and he said everything that he's had to say since the beginning has been nothing but lies. He doesn't trust him, and he'll use his own scientists and doctors. And then today, the governor of Texas comes out and puts out a mandate for everybody to wear masks. It was fun. It's like none of these politicians can agree on what their stance is exactly supposed to be, and everybody's infighting from a political standpoint when this is really a health crisis. It has nothing to do with politics.
Good shout. And wow, are the politics getting messed into this big time, aren't they? It's absolutely insane. Like Dr. Bob, the whole Trump versus the World Health Authority and the funding and whatnot. What do you got to say on that? Oh, did we lose him? Am I here?
No.
Yeah,
You didn't lose me. I was actually going over and setting something on the telescope. I was listening to you, and I had to run back to the computer to do it.
I'll forgive you for that because you're doing astronomy.
Yeah. Now, one of my firm rules is that I try not to discuss politics. Okay? See greater sapien.
Sorry, buddy.
See greater sapien. All right. The election's coming up. We'll see what happens. I have faith in the people of the United States doing the right thing and coming to the realizations that they need to come to. Okay? I think that at this particular time, the absolute worst thing to do is blame your own incompetence on an organization that's doing a good job and did the right thing.
Exactly.
I'm going to say that. I'm going to leave it alone at that. And that's that. Sorry if that's not more of a thorough answer.
No, but I can respect it because I understand where you're coming from. I mean, I'm outside the political boundaries of the United States, and my opinion don't mean much, so I can toss it around a little bit more freely. I totally get it. Respect it too. Understand, no problem.
Well, yeah, I also think that I also understand where he's come from too, because I'm a moderator and an admin in a couple of forums, and we've always had relegated things like political discussions and religious discussions to a subforum, and it had to stay there because those discussions, especially when they start to drag on, never, ever, ever, ever go well. It never does. It always just degrades into name calling and mudslinging. It's hard to do. It's hard to have a civil discussion on those subjects.
I'm going to just say one thing. All right. Now, I don't think it's any secret. By definition, I'm a progressive Democrat. I have a lot of good friends that are Republicans. And it's not that I have an issue with the Republicans. I think that both sides want to do the best for the country. They just have a different approach to doing it, and they have slightly different priorities. And I think that when they work together, they do wonderful things. All right. This is not a Republican or Democratic issue.
Nor should it be.
Well, the issue that we're talking about and the action that was taken with the World Health Organization is not a Republican or a Democratic issue. That is outside the normal political discourse.
Yes.
It's what it's supposed to be, too.
That is a leadership issue.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not something that I would have done.
I want to take a second to welcome Blue Marble Science. Big Blue joins the show. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
We're just chilling and chatting about whatever comes up. How's things in your world?
Oh, busy. Trying to get a video together, and just saw your notice there a minute ago.
Glad you caught it in time. Absolutely. We got into something pretty deep there, and maybe this is a good time to change it over. Who's got something they want to propose to the panel? I could use a beer, so I need a minute.
Well, while you're getting that, I'm going to have him read this one super chat.
Glober Mom for $2 said, Matt, this is actually 5,000 Korean won, and this is for K-Weeza. Stop sending 5,000 Korean won. If you want to send 5,000 Korean won, multiply that by 2.
He's definitely our super chat person. Thank you.
That's too funny. So, Blue, you're doing a video. Have you found any stupid you'd like to share with the group? We were talking about Oakley there for a bit, and his absolutely losing his mind over what's his name there. Mike gave us a good rundown on that. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
I've heard just a little bit of Oakley's meltdown, and I want to go listen to it and see exactly what it is that set him off. But yeah, then again, it doesn't take very much to set Oakley off.
Well, he got proved wrong. That's all.
All you have to do is teabag him at the wrong time of the afternoon, and the guy goes psycho, right?
Yeah.
But this was an epic meltdown. He made most of his rants look pretty tame compared to what he did today. And you could hear it escalate through the entire 11 minutes. He just got louder and more belligerent as he went along. It was pretty funny.
I will make it a point to listen to that later this evening.
Yeah, it's on Oakley, the what, 1980. That channel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's always good to hear Oakley go berserk, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how doable this is, but there's quite a few people in the chat requesting that we watch it here. I know this isn't the show for that, but
Well, it could be.
I
mean,
but
yeah,
dropped it.
hang on. The bottom line is whether or not it's doable for Boole.
Oh yeah, of course. Like that's.
I dropped it in the internal chat.
Oh, you did? That's even better. I was
Yeah.
gonna look it up on
Yep.
YouTube real quick, but since you got it, I'll just grab it
Yeah, it
out of
was-
there.
It's at the
Dr.
9.
Bob, Blue, do you guys want to check this out a bit? Shall we have a look?
Well, hell yeah.
All right.
I
get this in here, and we'll start it up in a second here.
And just
Alrighty.
while you're getting that set up, I just want to point out someone sent me one of these articles about the Black Lives Matter protests not impacting COVID results. Fun fact: the article actually says that Black Lives Matter protests somehow slowed the spread of COVID. And I looked up the study that it's based on. First of all, that study's on a .org site, not a .edu, so it hasn't been reviewed yet, I'm guessing is what that means. And it uses a lot of equations with variables that rely on assumptions. I don't like that thing at all.
Oh, by the way, that's going to be interesting to see how that works out, because the .org sites, most of those are just set up by whomever has an agenda.
Right.
So this whole rant starts with, believe it or not, a GoFundMe for a vacuum clothes dryer. Believe it or not.
What?
Yeah. So Thunderbutt did a debunk of a product that uses vacuum on supposed to lower vapor pressure so that the moisture in your clothes will evaporate faster. And so he did a debunk on that. Oakley had something to say about that in a stream somewhere. So Thunderfoot came back with a response to that, even though it really wasn't, he wasn't directly going after Thunderfoot in particular. He was talking about how what he was saying was wrong. So Thunderfoot basically just put the screws to him, showed him, why he was wrong, what his assessment of the situation was right. And then that caused Oakley to trip off the line. So it started with a clothes dryer.
I like this. I just want to say, definition of a troll comment. Thank God it's flat. Says, any obedient Christian females here? Yeah, nice try, buddy.
Oh my God.
Well, I have that video ready, so if y'all are ready.
All right. Yeah. Let's kick it.
So funny.
We can't hear it if it's playing right now.
Pointed out. So, solid bouncy balls behave like unbonded gas, Chikey?
Jesus.
Yo, your quick guru, Thunderfoot, is going to have his ass handed to him indefinitely until he retracts his complete fit that bouncy balls, solid, bonded, bouncy balls, behave like an unbonded gas. I will call him what he is, a complete moron.
Mad.
A minute of intro.
Remember what he said.
Have some humility, you bonehead. Say, oh right, I was wrong. I accused somebody of using fallacious reasoning, that would be cherry picking, ignoring a completely contextually different statement that preceded or followed what was read out. That did not happen. So are you going to apologise?
No, I won't.
No, that's because you're a wanker. Like
Okay, guys.
all of your brethren, like all globe scum who come here, like Thunderfoot or whatever the fuck his name is, laughing at us. Yeah? when they declare total nonsense. It's an absolute outrage. You think you've got the right to laugh at us and claim fallacy, and you don't even know what the fallacy is. But you won't apologise. What an absolute disgusting human being you are.
So, disgusting human being, Oakley? It takes one to know one, I guess, I would say.
Wow.
Like, I mean, there's that, the fact that he's disgusting, but also, like, you're talking about a YouTube argument and using that to characterize someone as disgusting. Like, no, you know what's disgusting? Someone who robs liquor stores, someone who, I don't know, assaults women. Though that's disgusting. Cabbage rolls are fucking disgusting. What you're describing is a disagreement.
Yes. And by the way, Oakley's wrong. I just wanted to get that out there. I know you're all shocked.
I'm
the
it's like I'm
bouncy
seeing
balls.
colors I've never seen before. Oakley's wrong.
Should we continue, or is that enough of this for this? Show?
There's. I'm hoping you're close to a line that he has in here about scientists. So yeah, let's see if we can get that, because it's funny.
Yeah, we'll have a little more for sure. I mean, why not?
Well,
you scum!
What is geometric horizon?
You're scum! Don't talk to me about the geometric horizon. What, the one that's not contradicted with cherry picking? Yeah, that one. You claimed somebody cherry picked. You didn't know what the fuck it even meant. And now you're talking through me. When are you going to have an ounce of humility, you scumbag?
Pause. Is it worth pointing out that when the guy attempts to say like one word and Nathan just bowls through him while saying that the other guy is doing that?
It out there.
Oh, god damn it. Am I back?
You're good now? Yeah.
Actually, it was the rest of you that were roboting. I heard Kevin fine the whole time, so.
Oh.
Okay. Is it worth pointing out that as Nathan is bowling through this guy's like one or two words that he tries to say, he's describing the guy doing the same thing? Like he's saying, "Oh, you're talking through me," as he talks through him.
That is so typical of Nathan. Exactly.
Yes.
Everything he accuses anybody else of doing is exactly what the hell he's doing.
He's the ultimate gaslighter.
Yeah, he goes on. He goes on later in the video and talks about how he can explain it all to like Neil deGrasse Tyson and to he has a list of scientists and physicists. It's like, really, come on. It was bold even for him. And what we just heard is tame. He gets even more irate as it goes on too. It escalates from there.
Oh, good.
All I gotta say about it is, Nathan, the IMAX theater has just called me. They want their fucking big ass projector back.
So also, y'all in the chat are insane. Cabbage rolls are not wonderful when done correctly. They're fundamentally flawed and they look like vomit.
The bouncy balls he's whining about was a fluid dynamics demonstration of the interaction of gas molecules. They were, how you see in college and high school chemistry class little kits where you put together for molecules and atoms like O2 and whatever. It looked kind of like that, except they were CGI rendered, and that one thing is what caused Nathan to go off, because he obviously doesn't understand how these simulations work and what that was. He had no idea what it was he was actually looking at.
Well, and that's just it. No one's suggesting that atoms and molecules actually look like balls. That's not the point of the demonstration.
Exactly, and that's the point. He had no idea what it was he was seeing. And at no point did he say this is an exact representation of an oxygen molecule. No, he says this represents the interaction of gas molecules.
Yeah, I just recently got my son the organic chemistry molecular building set so we can build molecules. And I can definitely attest that even this kit has a better representation than that. Like, come on, seriously. Let's look to the actual thing that's being discussed and not cherry pick the BS on the side that was just being done to make sure you could understand. That's bullshit.
It was kind of amazing how he goes off too. I'm not sure exactly where he's going to go with it, but he does go on, and he says he's making his mission in life to force Thunderfoot to put up a retraction video and apologize. So we'll see how that goes.
Exactly how does he plan on doing that, I wonder?
Magic, isn't that how everything else works for him?
Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Thunderfoot's going to apologize for being right. Yeah, that's going to happen and never.
Well, I bet I could see another video coming out by Thunderfoot that just completely squishes Oakley like a bug, and I can't wait to see how he responds to that.
We should get Aimee in. I think she has a few things to clean up in the world of the YouTube stuff.
Yes, please, if I may.
K-Weezer for 10,000 Korean won. Thank you, K-Weezer.
Yeah.
Says against the brain in the vats. Prejudice against cabbage rolls. Foul, bad form. Now multiply that by 2.
No.
Thanks, Kalasa. I love you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's too funny. Oh, that's amazing. Wow. So where do we take it from here? I think Dr. Bob's playing with his telescope. He should give us an update on what he's going on. But he's going to have to run over to the thing because he's playing with the telescope and he heard me call him, and I need to give him just a little more time to get there, and then he's good. Did I do long enough? Is it working?
You know what? I have a great setup if that doesn't
You're a
work,
dick, right? What I'm doing right now is I'm kind of zeroing in. I'm just kind of tuning it to the moon a little bit. I just hooked the camera up to it, and I'm trying to get it lined up and focused. And then we're going to have a look and see what we have, man.
Oh, cool. I can't wait. Okay, great. This is going to be awesome, PubChat, because we're going to get some live astronomy.
Actually, we may be able to do that. Let's try it out.
I hope so. All right.
Give me a second. Now, leave me alone for a minute and let me get this done. Let me get my crap done, okay? Talk to Blue. Blue's a funny guy.
So Blue, I saw your video today. I saw that guy and his Coriolis effect a few times. That guy is the definition of flat earther, globe denier, not understanding what he's trying to debunk. Oh my God.
Is that not the dumbest damn thing you've ever seen?
It was.
Oh my God. Well, I almost feel sorry for that kid. He's not totally to blame because, I suppose he is, but he gets all this crap from what Nathan Oakley tells him and what Quantum Roaster tells him and what Sloppy has to say about it. And these guys have had Coriolis wrong from day one.
Yeah.
They have no idea why the dictionary or the definition of Coriolis always mentions an inertial frame of reference.
Right.
If they would stop and think for a freaking second, and that's all it takes is a split second, there's more than one sort of non-inertial reference frame. They don't have to rotate.
Yeah, but stopping to think, the point for them is to make a specific point. It's a bias, a belief bias. They don't really care about anything else but making the point that they want to make. And what I'm finding lately, too, I've been on a few Facebook groups. The common theme is, in all of these supposed debunks, is they don't know what it is they're supposed to be debunking.
Yeah.
And that guy was the absolute definition of that. My God.
No, I'm just curious. We've got our favorite troll in the chat, Feel Jesus in You. And I just want to read out a comment they said, and I want to hear what everybody has to say about it. Every quote-unquote atom we see is a CGI representation. There is no actual way we can know how they work. We can't see them. You ever heard of an electron microscope?
Jeez.
Yeah, and technically you're seeing a lot of them in very large groups when you look at actual objects. So we kind of, and chemistry kind of tells us how they behave. You know, so
actually, if you want to get technical, we're never not seeing them.
Right, it's the only thing we see.
But the thing is you know, they latch onto that one thing, but you don't have to optically see something to be able to actually evaluate it and see and be able to determine what it is and how it works. You know, they zone in on a single thing, but ignore the reality that, hey, we're pretty smart people. We could figure out how to do things. We've been trying to figure out how to do things for, I don't know how long we've been around. So just because you can't optically see something, that doesn't necessarily mean you can't actually see it if you want to. It just depends on what it is you're trying to find out.
And Ash Scott said, we can't see atoms, but Bronze Age goat farmers saw God. Well, yeah, yes. God's a lot bigger than an atom. I assume. I don't know.
Oh. That's a good question. Is God made up of atoms? I don't know.
That is a good question.
Well, he made one, so maybe he just took one and planted it down, right?
Maybe that's where the atom came from.
Yeah.
In the image of himself.
Yeah.
Atom is an atom. It's a mistranslation. The D is actually a T.
There you go.
It's not a person. It's literally talking about atoms.
I'm thinking we're getting awfully damn close to Pete Shea logic here.
So what would the continuing that analogy? What would the tree of life be, and the tree of knowledge?
Oh God.
I think that's a stiffy better left to Pornhub, to be honest.
All right, Bob. The moon is vibrating. What's wrong? What's going on?
Bull. Maybe we should go full screen here. Dr. Bob looks like his action is ready.
Is he landing on the moon, or?
See how fast he does that? Wow, he's good.
I love the depth of field, though. That's awesome.
Wow.
That's not bad.
Why do I feel like I have to PM Astronomy Live right now and say sorry?
Hey, it's his first attempt. We're seeing detail. So.
This is great.
Seeing good detail.
Let's see. Thanks, Dr. Bob, in the chat there, everybody. Look at this action.
Isn't that a beautiful, clearly three-dimensional object?
Yes, look at those. There are objects that have shadows. I wonder why that is.
Because they're solid.
Yeah.
and they don't emit their own light, because things that emit
right.
light are not, by definition, are not casting shadows at the same time.
It's
well, unfortunately, I can't really tell where we are right now, what sea we're coming up on. I've got to find something in here that's somewhat recognizable. This is the first time I've used this telescope. The focusing could be a little crisper. I haven't collimated it, but I mean, you see the mild little shimmer you're getting from the upper atmosphere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They use lasers for that now, but it's kind of hard to do in your case.
All right, now there's a central crater with it's got a central mountain and a terraced edge and a lot of rays on it. I'm thinking that might be Tycho. We're going to find out here in a second if we pass off the moon.
I think so. We got long shadows there.
Is that
Yeah, but we got another
Twilight?
That may be
That's
that
Twilight.
May be Copernicus up there too.
That's Twilight on the right, by the way, Flat Earthers. Twilight. Look it up.
Yep. Yeah, it's a terminus line. I'm going to try and see where we are.
This is pretty good that you're able to stream this like this. This is impressive. I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah, same here.
Shit, right, Mike? This is really cool, man. I mean, I can get some pretty good shots out of the gear I have, but I have no way to share it. And, you know, when you put that digital eyepiece in, it is the eyepiece. And as such, it's got to be a pretty decent piece of kit, right?
Yep.
Amy's got her hand up. We should turn to Aimee here.
Yes, please. I was before Matt gets that super chat, I did want to say that's just absolutely beautiful. Look at that nice solid object.
I know.
All right. Oh, there's Plato. That's Plato.
Oh,
nice.
That's beautiful.
That's Plato right there, and those are the lunar Alps.
Oh.
And right now, you see that little point of land right there?
Mm-hmm.
That's where Apollo 17 landed. I saw that one go up.
Nice.
Wow.
So what you're looking at here is you're looking at the Sea of Serenity, and you're coming into the Sea of Showers. Nice. I think you're moving from east to west on the moon right here. You missed Archimedes. The crater Archimedes was up there too. But unfortunately, this telescope is absolutely hand-controlled, and it's 30 years old.
Wow.
And I don't think it's ever been oiled.
Wow.
You can see a bit of a stepper motor effect to the motion, but there's
no motor.
But
That's
really?
the moon. That's the Earth rotation.
Wow.
As the moon rotates. As the Earth rotates, the moon moves basically its diameter once an hour.
Then that frame,
You know what
that
that is?
eyepiece is giving us some good FPS because that's a really cool shot.
Do you know what that is right there? That's Aristarchus.
Nice.
Hang on.
So you should you probably need to tear that mount down, clean it out, oil it.
Yeah, it needs a serious, exactly, a recondition, right?
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I love to do.
Like me recapping an old Commodore 64.
That's amazing. Matt wants to read those super chats if he can, please.
Go for it, Matthew.
Yes. 8 ball for life.
Oh, man.
8 ball for life
B-ball.
for $5. B ball for life for $5 said. Just at the math, Oakley only has 1.9% of the subs that Thunderfoot
Dudes, I
has.
think we're running out of moon here. And quite frankly, trying to run up and grab it all
John
the
Rapp
time.
Australian $2 said. Dr. Bob reminds me. Been there, got some rocks. We should get a theme song for Bob. Bob, the science guy.
Thank you.
I have that in a coffee cup.
Nice.
In my store. Moon, been there, got some rocks.
Killer. I love it.
I also have one. My name is not Mark. I have my own place. And then I have another one that says, stop presupposing my logical fallacies.
I love that.
All right, that was a good one. I like that.
I'm open to suggestions.
Hey, Matthew, if you're still listening, you said Dr. Bob a theme song. I did Dr. Bob a theme song a long time back. That's how we know each other.
That's right.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear it.
Yeah.
I will hook you up later, buddy. No problem. I had no idea this was coming for PubChat, Bob. This is a great surprise. I'm loving this.
That's pretty cool.
And I don't know if anybody noticed or not, but Dead Kennedy in space there, Kevin had to drop the meat really fast. Something came up, real life does actually happen. So we're missing him, but we've got Blue, Mike, Dr. Bob, and us other people. So we're good. So Blue, how about while Dr. Bob's, playing with his knobs, you give us a little Cavendish update. What's going on?
What's going on at the moment is I'm getting ready to actually start cutting some wood. It's been laying around out in the shop now for about 2 weeks, so I'm satisfied that it is stable at this point. And I've been working on figuring out exactly the joinery I want to try to use. You know, you think back to 225 years ago when they built that thing, and the craftsmen of that day and age would have treated that like a piece of furniture. I mean, they didn't know how. Apparently, it took many years for us to learn how to half-ass shit. Those guys did not. You know, everything they did was just incredible. So
I look at it.
The more I thought about it, the more I thought, yeah, if we're going to do this, let's just build it like we're building a piece of furniture.
That's a really good idea. Look at it like Fraunhofer. Glass making wasn't just a science; it was also an art.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really good way to look at it. Another thing is, if you look back in history, you know, when they were first developing turbos for engines and stuff, we couldn't get the precision and the tolerances right to have high enough speed turbos to really help. It took some good engineering to get there. And yet we have Cavendish nailing it to such a degree back when he did. Pretty impressive stuff. You've got to stand back and go, wow.
Actually, he didn't even build it originally. He inherited it and rebuilt it.
I didn't know this part of the story.
That's exactly right. Michelle, that came up with that thing to begin with, was never able to finish it.
Yep.
And when Cavendish got his hands on it, there was a lot about what Michelle was doing that Cavendish wasn't comfortable with. And I think he basically just completely rebuilt everything. I know that Michelle started out wanting to use 8-inch diameter lead balls, and those would have weighed, I think, I worked that out as a little over 100 pounds or something. Cavendish took it up to 12 inches and made the damn things 350 pounds a piece. Good Lord. Talk about a guy with big balls. Oh, yeah. Cavendish definitely has some big balls.
What was the dimensions on the beam that held those? Holy cow.
There's no, I've never found any real description of any of that part of the experiment. Cavendish was pretty meticulous about stating the dimensions of the inside of the enclosure with the small weights, but he didn't really ever say that much about the rest of it. But yeah, you got 700 pounds of lead hanging off of it. That had to be a hell of a beam up there.
Yeah, because there was a big moment arm from the center point out to the ball.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, 3 feet out.
Wow.
Oh man, that is a large moment for sure.
Now, Blue, did you follow along when BM Furball was doing Cavendish over in overseas there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, you know what you're getting into. I mean, wow, was he dancing around the fairies making that baby happen proper, right? That was really, I love the precision, the patience needed to make this happen properly. And I really have to applaud somebody that has it, because quite frankly, that ain't me, baby. Not a chance.
Yeah, it's there is so much work involved in doing a thing like this and doing it properly, and hopefully that comes across as we go through it, and everybody sees what the hell I'm going through here.
Yes.
As I've said 1,000 times, this is not one of those situations where you get up and say, "Oh shit, it's Thursday. I think I'll do a Cavendish this afternoon." No, not hardly.
When I did the Cavendish in high school in the Aeronautics Club, we had actually our faculty advisor had gotten one of those commercial apparatus from one of the local universities. It looked like the kind that you can get now. I think it's called by company Pasco. You can get them on Amazon, and it looked kind of like that, only it was a little bit bigger. Actually, it was about twice the size. But even a commercially designed and engineered unit still took us like 2 days to get it set up right and running. So building one from scratch is not, it's not a weekend project.
Oh, hell no.
Although
and not trying to be, and I'm trying to be faithful, as much as I can to the way the original experiment was performed.
First, looking at the videos of your shop, you have some pretty nice woodworking equipment in there. I like the planes that you have hanging on the wall there.
Yeah, I like all the old stuff. I really enjoy. I've got one new plane that I use quite a bit, but almost everything I've got is 1950-ish and older. And it's amazing how well that stuff works.
Oh yeah, it's properly maintained. That stuff will last centuries.
Yeah. All you got to do is take care of it. My two favorite saws are Henry Diston saws, and both of them date to 1870.
Wow!
Imagine that. And those friggin' things cut they cut better than any new saw I can buy.
Yeah. A friend of mine in town here where I live, he is an old school carpenter, and I mean he's got his grandpa's tools, and they were probably passed down as well. And he does hand, designed furniture, dressers, beds, and so on, and they cost cash. But the craftsmanship and the quality, I mean, it's like buying a Rolls Royce in the 1950s. You know what I mean? It's just, everything is just so much better than other things.
Well, yeah, stuff built that way is not. We live in a throwaway society. Everything you buy is got a lifespan of 25 or 30 years at most, and it's in the garbage can. But the way they built stuff in those days, it's heirloom stuff. It lasts many lifetimes. All you got to do is take care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son's bedroom set is an old one from the early 60s that was cared for beautifully. And, to lift it up a set of stairs, even just one side rail to the bed takes two people because it is serious, proper wood. And where do you go to get that even now? And who can afford it, right? It's a shame that the true level of craftsmanship is now at that, top level layer that very few people can attain anymore, when it used to somewhat be the norm.
And you're right, though, it is expensive. We went to a woodworking mill in Vermont, and they did a little tour there, and you got to see all the craftsmen upstairs doing all the work. But the cost was amazing. It was just an ottoman. That I was looking at, and the ottoman was $1,600. You get really good quality, but you pay for it these days.
Oh, absolutely.
And Bob, there, that second round of images, those were great. What's coming up next here? Because I think everybody's looking forward to more.
Well, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, now we got you perfect.
All right, well, this is just me on the computer with no headset. Right now, I'm just going to do a quick polar alignment. I'm kind of waiting for Jupiter to come up. I'd kind of like to see what Jupiter looks like with this.
Oh, so would we. What time frame are we looking at? Have you got it all mapped out? You know what's going on?
It should be within half an hour. Matter of fact, hang on.
Look at that. I think we have to hang out for that.
No, the stars are actually just coming out right now. I don't see Jupiter's not crested the horizon yet. The moon's still up pretty high, and it's full right now, so it kind of washes everything out. I'm just going to do a quick polar alignment.
Cool. Yeah, it's only 7:30 here, so I mean, if I took mine outside, the only thing I could do is spy on the neighbors. It's just not happening right now. Hey, Blue, are you playing with any optics your way as well?
No, I don't. I really don't have a place to do it. The terrain around here, I would have to go, find an open field someplace. I just, the backyard is kind of surrounded by trees and stuff. You know, it's just, so is the front yard. Doesn't matter.
Besides,
too much,
he needs all his
light
storage
pollution
space.
and everything.
He needs all the storage space to hold his big balls at arm's length. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You betcha.
Oh, too funny. Too funny. I did notice recently that Sean Hawkins had put a few live streams up, and he seems to have the alignment of his kit ready, and we might start getting some imaging from him as well. So I think that's pretty exciting. Because if I remember correctly, he did some crowdsourcing, and he's got a decent, set of kit ready to go. I can't wait to see. I'm no expert on what he's up to, of course, but I just caught a few, and it looked like it was, almost time to go. That would be nice. I think the more the merrier when it comes to sharing astronomy, cosmology, and astrophysics and whatnot, and really helping the layman get into the topic and the situation more so that they have a little bit of a background understanding to make the viewing of the content really interesting. Did I get that right?
That sounds right.
I almost felt like I lost my thought halfway through, but I think I did pull it off in the end. But I really love that stuff. I did find a channel recently, Astro Live, and very good content at night. Sometimes for some people, maybe the music streaming during the content isn't what you would want, but I mean, there's a mute button. You can put on whatever you want. I have a lovely sound system, so I do that. But, it's a great channel, Astro Live. Check it out, I'll drop a link here in a minute when I can actually mute and, do that kind of thing.
So, to get back to Opie for just 1 second, if you guys are going to watch that video, you should watch Thunderfoot's video first that he does. It's his latest one. And then watch Oakley's response.
Oh,
a little bit more context.
And having personally watched that Thunderfoot video, because I know what you're talking about with the vacuum dryer, he demolishes him in that video. Like every argument he's made about this is just like totally demolished, and for him to be incensed and double down it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Oh yeah, it's a die with the lie kind of situation.
All Oakley is doing, he's trying to goad Thunderfoot into doing another video. And Oakley sees that as an opportunity to pick up some subs. That's all it is.
Yeah, I see that the same as Unirock bringing his drama to other channels just because he wants it to keep going, and that's what his channel's actually about. So you have to decide for yourself whether or not you're going to be one of the ones that fuel it, right?
Yeah.
It was like for us.
He has a lot of subs, and Blue could be right. He's hoping he can draw some subs off of that. I think Thunderfoot has like 800,000 or something like that.
Yeah. Right, and that's why he's trying to play up the back and forth, because he wants to feed on it, because then he can put his name in his channel link and blah, blah, and the whole bit and try to, and it's a sad attempt. You can see it. You can see it from a mile away.
As long as he gets to put up all his cybercurrency.
Yes. Well, and that's what it comes down to, doesn't it? Right? Because you've got quite a few of these pseudoscience pushers, and they really, quite a few of them really have nothing to say but blah, 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 blah. And they rehash the same crap over and over because they know that if something like Ancient Aliens can be on History Channel, there means there's a lot of people out there that are really buying into the conspiracy theory angle. So it's not hard to touch on it without really saying much and have some people really buy into it. But the ones that actually bring something to the table that you can, discuss and argue and debate and whatnot, they are very few and far between. And when you do challenge them, they run. You know, you only get a few like an Oakley or something that will stand up and argue, and it seems to be more based on their personality, where they just can't be wrong.
Yeah, well, Oakley, he won't stand up and argue. What he'll do is he'll stand up and argue where he can control the narrative. He won't leave his own echo chamber because he knows that all of his arguments will cave like a wet paper bag.
Well, his excuse for not debating Red's rhetoric is that his channel isn't popular enough. Which is funny because I think Red's actually has more subscribers than Nathan Oakley does.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does.
I wonder what the percentage of actual views versus his subscribers Oakley gets.
Oh, I watch that all the time, Mike. Another one is funny too. Is you ever notice how much fighting there is between the little subcultures within the pseudoscience community?
It is interesting. There's like camps, like the Flat Earth Society forum that I frequented for a few years. There's actually two of them. They both call themselves a Flat Earth Society, but one of them is an offshoot of the first one. It's a lot of infighting and arguing, so they made their own version. And both of those versions have a lot of contempt for the YouTubers like Oakley. They think that they're just controlled opposition. And of course, YouTubers think the same thing about them. And then you got all the guys on freaking Facebook. There are all of these little camps that can't agree on anything, and they argue amongst themselves. It's funny.
You know, speaking of Facebook, I was floored when I first found Flat Earth on YouTube and so on to find out how much more prolific it really is on Facebook. It was shocking.
I've just recently gotten over there and seen that over the last couple of weeks, actually. MC Toon invited me to one group, and now I'm in 8, and I just can't look away. It's like a car wreck.
Oh man, you let Toon take you down the rabbit hole. He knows how to find the good ones.
Yeah, and these guys are the ones I'm running into are I think they're novices at this because they throw up memes and they parrot some things, but they cave quickly when you press them. Okay, so you said this. Where did that come from, and what's the evidence for it? They run away really, really fast. A lot of them are I think, really, really new to this.
Really well said. Absolutely. I think we're still missing Dead Kennedy because I know he would have had something on that for sure. Oh, too funny. And I think Bob's still setting up.
Yeah, I'm trying to get I'm trying to get my finder scope and my telescope aligned.
Cool. So he's close. This is good. All right.
Yeah, it's coming.
Excellent. Blue. Now, what was it? Damn it. Wasn't Thompson involved in something recently? Did you hear about this, or am I getting the Nathans wrong?
I don't know.
Okay, I might be getting the Nathans wrong. There's so many useless Nathans. Seriously, when a kid is born and slips out of the doctor's hand and falls on the floor, do they pick it up and go, "Ma'am, you should really call this child Nathan"? Is that how it goes?
It seems that way, doesn't it? I'm telling you.
It's crazy. Why do we have so many bad Nathans?
That's a mystery. It really is.
I'm going to blame the Illuminati just because I am not involved in any way, and they do not pay me a monthly salary of any kind. Right? I want that said right here.
Disclaimer number 1.
Oh man. And, everybody here must watch Pratt a bit. Have you noticed the big shift in Pratt's focus? He's not quite so much a flat earther now as just an angry son of a bitch locked to a fucking water heater.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's he still has the same familiar tone, but he's a little, I don't know, a little more angry than usual, and his focus seems to be in a different direction too.
Yeah, I noticed at the end of his flat Earth thing, before he got into this a little bit more political stance, he was very much flaking, and he was relying on the religious aspect to back up flat Earth. And I know Mike will just lose his shit over that, but now he's very much switched that to a political stance, as I see it, and you can see he's just starving for attention.
Yeah, he's really pushing his narrative, trying to get as many people listening to him as possible, I think. But I can only take so much of him. He's one of those guys that, you know, I can only watch for a few minutes, and I just get so banging my head against the table that I just can't go anymore.
Yeah, it does get to be a bit much. I saw a video of his recently where he was driving through a parking lot yelling at people, saying that, you know, COVID was just a conspiracy and whatnot. And
I hate
the way he did it was he confronted one person very quickly and drove past as if he was doing like a drive-by shooting, but doing it verbally. And then he did it to another person and did the same thing and moved along very quickly. And I got the impression that he didn't even believe what he was saying, and he was just doing it to make sure he was being controversial. Now, if you're somebody who wants to be on YouTube and, you know, you feel that that's your calling or whatever's going on, why do you get drawn to the negative and the rabbit hole and the tinfoil hat? What drives a person to this?
Oh, that's the $1 million question, I think, right there.
Yeah.
Although I think some of it might be the effort required to actually be correct. Like, it takes work.
Ooh.
It takes work. Like, look what Red's Rhetoric has done with filming launches. That's, by and large, like, it's him supporting that, but his viewers help to support those trips out there. But that's a lot of his own money and time, and a hell of a lot of time to go out there and film that shit.
And years of experience putting it all together, too.
Yeah.
I got a question for everybody, because, you know, I've been arguing with conspiracy theorists of all kinds for nearly 20 years. I mean, it started in like the late 90s, early 2000s with the moon hoaxers. So, you know, I usually have no problem making a discussion and arguing with a guy. But now I have a family member who's gone down that QAnon rabbit hole. I really have no idea how I'm supposed to talk to him about it. And
wow.
Oh yeah, he's gone full on QAnon conspiracy. Well, he doesn't believe it's a conspiracy theory, but that's what I'm still doing. And I really
that's even worse.
Yeah, I have really no idea how to even talk to him about it. You know, and I normally have no problems diving right into some stupid that someone's saying.
Right. I mean, that's why we always bring you on the channel, because you always have something to say. No, that's actually not correct. Right? You know.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to do when it's a family member. It's my brother.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I have no idea what to do about it.
Yeah, we have another person in the Shills. I won't say who, but they have a best friend of a family member who's a complete conspiracy tinfoil hat wearing nut, and we get some real stories in the background. Oh wow, it just shocks me.
Yeah, it's hard too. You know, he's even taken now to. Sometimes I'll see his Facebook timeline, and there'll be things where content is hidden. Because he doesn't want me to see it, but yet he doesn't hide it from Linda, so she just tells me what it is.
Oh wow!
It's kind of a hole in his theory there, but it's kind of funny. And yeah, he's in some of those QAnon groups on Facebook, and he's got the Q and stuff on, and that, what is it? Where we go one, we go all. That acronym, on the rear window of his car. Yeah, he's fully into that rabbit hole.
Wow. I can't understand it myself because, I mean, being somebody who's been into computers all my life and tech support, IT, I went to audio engineering school. I have to know the inner details of things and how they work so that I can properly understand them. And I cannot imagine being lost in the rabbit hole where I just watch some idiot say something and I don't follow through and go, wow, turns out he's right. How does that happen?
Yeah, I don't know. Does anybody else ever dealing with failure? I don't even know, what to say to the guy. So now I just avoid talking about it at all.
Well, I got into it because a longtime friend, I've known this person for, at this point, 30 years, and I still consider them a friend. I just don't talk to them about Flat Earth. I don't know if they're still into it or not. They don't really bring it up on Facebook, probably because of people like me who said, that's fucking stupid. Are you insane? Are you actually joking with me? I can't tell because you won't actually say, dude, chill out, it's a joke, so I have to assume that you think this is true, right? And he's like, well, you have no imagination. I said, no, my imagination stems from reality. That's intelligent imagination. Going backwards and saying the earth is flat, that's not imagination. That's just stupid. And so like you, I don't know how to approach this person to help and that's kind of why I got into this, was just to figure out methods and to figure out motivations for people to do this in the first place. I figure there's at least two kinds. There's the kind that are gullible and stupid. There's just, and then there's the kind that are actually doing it because they're pose and they're stupid. And then there's the kind that are literally poing for money, and that are not stupid, and they're taking advantage of people's stupidity and gullibility themselves.
Yeah, that's the thing too, because I would have never thought that he would go, full on conspiracy, because he's not a dumb guy. He's a smart guy, and it just boggles the mind. He posted some, I guess, some of the riots that happened like in 2014, 2015. I think it was Baltimore. There was supposedly this thing that's one of the racist actor rioters had dropped. That was some document from, what's his name? What was the guy's name? Soros. Yeah, for George Soros's group. And so he reposted that. Someone reposted that, and I asked him. I said, "So you're somehow saying that this unverified document from years ago is what's happening right now with all these BLM demonstrations?" Thinking that, you can't possibly support this kind of thing. And his only answer to me was yes. So I was like, okay, I'm done, because I really don't know how to respond to it. If it were anybody I didn't know, I would be all over it. It makes it's a different story when it's someone that's a family member that starts to go full on spiritard, and you don't know what to do about it.
Yep, absolutely. Aimee needs to get in, so we better get over for super chat time, because I'm sure Mathew's bursting.
He is.
Got the scummer for £2, said
Reds
has twice as many subs as Slappy.
Yes, Slappy. That's too funny. Thank you. I'm sure he has quite a few more.
Well, just to be clear, I know Reds has more subs than Nathan Oakley. I was being facetious and sarcastic. So
Exactly.
And properly.
Yeah, and the non sequitur and both Mippet brought up that Thompson stalked a kid wearing a NASA shirt who was around 12 years old.
Wow, dude!
Recently?
Yeah, he didn't learn his lesson the first time, did he? Jeez.
Yeah, that whole thing outside that school, and he is so lucky there wasn't a dad around.
Well, he
that
filmed.
could have ended badly for him.
Yeah, and then he goes through that, gets arrested, and didn't spend much time in jail, but he went to jail for it. But then he goes out and does it again to this kid, and then goes to the parents to ask if it's okay if he hands flyers to their kid after he's already handed flyers to their kid. And he got lucky with the parent being, okay, yeah, you can hand my kid flyers. Because if somebody had come to me and showed me that flyer and said, is it okay if I give this to your kid? I'd have been like, you stay the fuck away from my kid. just stay away.
If they knew who he was, too, if they had any idea who he was and he knew what he was about, no. Yeah. I couldn't imagine.
I agree. That's
even not knowing him, I don't think I would have ever agreed to. Especially knowing if I knew what the subject matter was, I don't think I'd ever agree to that.
No, come on, that's crazy. Nobody steps to that willingly. Are you kidding? That's just come on. That's it's wrong. It's wrong.
I think it was a case of the parent just didn't really care what was in the pamphlet. Sure, give my kid literature. I don't care, right? I don't think they were paying close enough attention to the subject matter.
Right.
Like if they had drawings of sex positions on the front of it, they probably would have noticed that, but it didn't. So it must be safe, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I got asked on Facebook last week by this guy. So why do you guys are all here, arguing with us flat earthers? Why do you even care so much? And then I said, okay, so I have flat earthers going to school board meetings wanting to have flat earth taught in schools. You've got Slappy McDumbass over there with his thesis saying that teaching gravity and the globe in school is political indoctrination. You've got Nathan fucking Thompson over there doing his flat smack thing on kids. Yeah, so as long as all you guys are going to keep dragging our kids into this, then you're damn right I'm going to sit here and I'm going to oppose you at every turn.
You damn right. Like you don't expect a response from responsible parents? Are you kidding?
You're right.
I mean, as a parent myself, when I saw that first video of that fucking teabagging, receiving son of a bitch doing the whole thing at the school and whatnot, my first response was, you know what? We are not ever covering that absolute POS on this channel again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. What I understand, too, is YouTube is also talking about how they were going to start taking down all of these 5G and anti-coronavirus things. And he has so many of those videos. And I've reported them over and over again. And they're all still up. I don't think anybody gives a crap at YouTube.
I don't think there is anybody at YouTube. That's the problem. Like, it's all run by AI, and it's overloaded because of all the extra activity on it in the first place because of COVID. So, like, people have nothing better to do than to sit at home and make YouTube videos at this point. And it's a lot of people. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that per se, because we're all doing it. But there's a lot of extra traffic in YouTube as a company because of it, and on the internet in general because of it. So
yes,
yeah,
I agree there absolutely. At sometimes you have to see like let's take Mark Sargent for a second here. Does anyone disagree with me that he is there literally to drive the narrative? And I don't believe for a second that he is the flat earther he pretends to be.
Yeah, I don't think so. My wife just brought up something interesting about him earlier today. She read that what's the name of that company?
Meta.
Yeah, Meta something or other. Oh, actually owns his website, and they have some. This company also has some relationship with Patricia Steer,
Let's see if I can find
and so there's like actual corporate backing in all of this. It even makes him look more dubious when I started to hear all that. I don't know how true it is, but I need to do a little research on it. But it sounds as if he is totally in it for exposure and money. I don't think he believes a single thing he's saying.
No, I actually think the whole wearing the shirt, I'm Mark Sargent and I'm a flat earther, tells me everything I need to know right there.
Yeah, he's got a billboard on his chest. Yep.
Absolutely. I'm looking at the time here, 7:52 by my clock, because I'm Pacific North American. And that tells me that Dr. Bob might be getting pretty close to showing us something cool. He's running over right now going, holy fuck, Dick, I swear to God, I'm going to kill you for doing this. Right?
No, I've got it. It's up.
Oh, there you go.
I'm just trying to get to it.
All right, baby. Awesome. Awesome.
I can't get, I just can't control the big telescope well enough with this thing, though.
Yeah, that's a small target.
The controls are really difficult. They're very corroded. They don't turn very well, and I have to do it all by hand. So
I am personally so happy to hear that, because I do have a motorized equatorial mount, but I use it in hands-on mode on purpose to make sure I'm instructing my son old school first before we get slackadaisiac,
Well, the problem that I run into is the mount won't move.
Yeah, you've got some age issues with the hardware, which is, I can only imagine. I would be flustered for sure.
Well, it's coming.
But I would be so happy to have a piece of kit with a few years behind it because, well, I got that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, something's wrong here. Hang on. Yeah, Jupiter just came up literally.
Oh, perfect. Yes, yes, yes.
If all else fails, I'm going to go get the other telescope. We're going to do it right.
That's too awesome.
I love it.
I do too. Would it be okay if Matt jumped in with a couple super chats?
Absolutely. He's a shill like anybody else. It's your turn, Matt, baby.
Right.
John Rapp Australian $2 said, PubChat is hereby instructed to continue weekly.
Well, that's that then, right?
Got the scummer for £5 said, yes, Thompson is likely to harass a kid. Harass a kid whose father is a gun owner before long.
Ooh, that's right, yeah. That might be a bad thing coming up, because ouch.
All right, I'm working on it. Give me some moments.
Okay, cool. The non sequitur just gave me a comment that said I'm in Pacific time, North America, Orphan Red Zone. I was under the impression that she was Eastern time in Southern Ontario. I actually, with a little sleuthing online, thought I found the town and everything. But maybe I just found another bimbo redhead that loves to show her cleavage online.
Yeah, I think she's a member of the Vancouver Mensa chapter.
Wow.
That's the one she's in.
Wow, now I'm just getting shivers. Excuse me while I do the walk of shame to the beer store and get myself some low-end crappy suds to sour in my shame.
Yeah, I don't know if I remember exactly one, but I think that's the chapter she was in. Is it British?
No.
I don't know. Linda
That whole Mensa thing with her was an absolute crapshoot because I don't know if anybody's noticed. I mean, you know, I don't watch YouTube based on cleavage, so I don't really watch. But she is no longer Mensa girl. She is back to being, the chick that should be on Pornhub with a dildo. How does she say it again? Orphan Red. That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I had actually may have had a hand in that.
Well, Mike, you and I talk in the background, and I do already know this.
yeah. I had actually sent some emails to the chairman of Mensa in Europe and to the chapter to Mensa Canada, because one of the rules is you can use, like, if you could say you could use the Mensa logo and name, but you have to put it into a context of you're a member. What you can't do is use it for commercial purposes. You can't make money off it, and that's literally what she was doing.
Yes.
So
using it as the title of her YouTube channel was using the fact that she had been accepted to Mensa as a monetary bonus.
Right. As she's giving you her PayPal account and asking you to join her Patreon. So, they at first the woman from Mensa Canada was like, you know, it may be kind of it's all tongue in cheek, and it's like, no, it's not tongue in cheek. I don't know whether she really believes what she's saying, but she is pushing this narrative, and she's making money off of it. I mean, it is what it is. And
you know, Mike, my opinion here is she is somebody that went through drama school because she seems to know how to work the audience. I mean, and I'm saying this as somebody who spent years as one of the leads of a rock and roll band who toured all over North America. And I do actually know something about the entertainment industry, and all I see in her is a performer.
Yeah. Yes, and I think you may be right there. I think this is all, but she hasn't put out a video since she changed her name either. I don't know what's up with that.
I have a question. Was she actually a member of Mensa at some point?
Yes. She got accepted.
So she took the test and got accepted. Got it. Okay.
Yes. But well, I won't get into the test part. But the fact is just because you're smart doesn't mean you actually know anything. There's a difference between having intelligence and actually applying that and knowledge. Got it.
All right. Bull, I think that's your cue there, brother, because I think we got some Dr. Bob greatness to share with the group. I love it. Dr. Bob, you got to talk to take the screen over. We'll all mute.
No, we're not done yet.
Oh, okay. Jesus, I called it too early. Damn it.
Wait for it.
Yeah, wait for it. I feel like a Brit now. Sarcastic Barman is going to give me big shit for going early.
All right. I'm close, but I've got a couple other things I got to do here real quick.
TP Seeker. All I see is the glory hole. Yeah, you and me both, baby. Except, unfortunately, I think I'm on the wrong side of it right now, and it's not working out well for the home team. What are you going to do? Okay, we're really, really close to some cool Astro Live, people. This is going to be awesome. Oh, Bull. We've got some of the right people to talk about Prove It here, maybe.
Well, yes. One of my initial ideas is to kind of redo the Eratosthenes experiment. Maybe with a little bit of what Wolfie did thrown in. and a little bit of equinox, kind of put it all together in one big shot. So the equinox is coming up this fall, so we got time to prepare for it, and that was going to be my original experiment when I tried to start Prove It back in the day. I just haven't found enough people or had a person reliable enough to get that together. So at some point we need to set up that people go out on the equinox and measure the angle of a 90-degree certain length stick on the ground. Basically, that's kind of what I want to happen. And we get those data points together and then put a video together about that. And
that would be amazing.
Cover that in a Prove It show, and that's kind of what I want to do for Prove It to kick it off. And so it has a definite date. There's a definite time that this all has to occur. I don't think a live stream is in order because we're going to be too busy actually getting the information together and coming up with the calculations. But it'll happen.
This is a premiere.
Right,
this is a premiere.
It's a premiere thing, right? So I'm looking forward to it.
I would love if we could get like Blue, Dr. Bob, and a few in, because if we could get people in our scene involved, wouldn't that be a way to show, hey, we do, the collaborations like the rock and rollers do when they want to get together and support a charity, where, Flat Earth and other pseudoscience pushers, all they do is argue and bicker.
This sounds like be an awesome project.
Yes,
absolutely.
I love it. I need 1 second here, guys, because unfortunately I don't have a glass and I'm not Riley, so I'll be right back.
Well, it's a cool observation to make, and it's not hard to do. That's the beauty of Eratosthenes.
Yes.
You need virtually nothing but a stick of some sort. Painter's pole is what I used. I had an 6-foot extension pole.
Well, I was thinking a yardstick or a meter stick. Something that we all can go to Home Depot and get, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. And the longer you make it, the more accurate your information is going to be.
Right.
And having more 2 data points too it becomes irrefutable after that.
Right. Like with 2 data points, theoretically, you could force that to work mathematically in either situation as far as proving it's a globe. But you get 3, it's done deal. It's like you can't argue that one of those is going to be lying for the Earth to be flat.
Well, when you do it on the equinox, even if you're the only one doing it, you've got 2 data points.
Right.
One is the sun, and the other one is you. Then you add one more guy, and now you've got 3.
Which is why I want to have at least 2 people doing it.
Huh?
Oh, your mount's too.
Not gonna happen?
Your mount's too rough.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the other telescope, and I'm gonna show you this damn planet.
Yeah, it's kind of a small target for something that doesn't move well.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep it going for a little bit more, but once Dick gets back, Aimee, do you have anything to cover? Or I didn't hear any super chats recently.
No, we didn't have anything, but yeah, we were talking about Orphan Red, and we were talking about how she may have the processing power, but she's still holds silly beliefs, So,
well, how's the old saying in computers go? Garbage in, garbage out. Yeah, it's pretty much her.
Yep, exactly. And Fred Knott said the Flurfs are complaining now that the Eratosthenes won't be right because of refraction in the atmosphere.
Well, again, this goes back to having more people doing it, because obviously the refraction's not going to be the same in Florida as it is in Canada. Just saying.
Exactly. Or over in Maine or out in California, and it will change from day to day, obviously. And this is what I've asked flat earthers too. weather conditions change, does that mean their refraction is always going to be the same? And they always seem to ignore that question.
So when I got the email back from the chairman of Mets International, it says it's possible for our members to state their membership clearly, even when making outrageous or tragically confused claims.
Wow.
So he considered, what she was saying to be tragically confused.
Sorry, Mike, but that's just too fucking funny,
Well,
man.
It is.
And this goes back to what Dick was saying about her being an actor, because what are the two maths? Tragedy and comedy goes hand in hand.
It does.
Wow. I gotta say, guys, for the first episode of the rebirth of our proper pub chat, we have the absolute best people. This has been fantastic. This is such a way to launch, a few debunkers and people that actually have education behind them sitting around chatting the way it's supposed to be done. I'm very proud of everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us on.
Yeah, Dick, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been good. This is great. This is what I like more than anything. I'm so hoping Dr. Bob's just about ready. I want to see.
Well, he ran off to get his other telescope.
Yeah, he said his mount wasn't working out. It was just too. I don't know.
It's a really small target to try to get with a mount that's sticky.
Yeah.
Yes, when you have jittery hand controls, that is not an easy game for imaging. I can only imagine, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I have one of those simple little motors that just, it's basically like a stepper motor with a speed dial, and that's all. And depending on where the moon is, distance, I have to adjust the speed every time and so on. But having to do it hands-on and really get in there and adjust and feel it and stuff, I don't know. There's something so, I don't want to say primitive, but I mean, it's like being a sports car lover and you want a proper manual shift car with a proper gear lever and a clutch because you want to be involved in the situation. Yeah. Am I making sense here?
Oh yeah, you are. Because like my watch, the watch everywhere, it's a mechanical watch, and obviously it's not as accurate as a modern day quartz would be over a year time period. But there is just something magical about that kind of a mechanism. It's that small, it can be that accurate. Well, yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, two of my favorite watches. I'm actually a watch guy. I have a few. And two of my favorite in my little collection are proper mechanicals. Yes. And there is nothing like knowing the precision engineering that went into keeping that timepiece in time properly on your wrist. I love it.
Yeah, I'm a watch guy too. I actually tinker. I've got quite a few that I got one that I'm trying to rebuild and I'm missing one part that I can't seem to find. But,
I'm like a watch snob. I'm like a watch snob. I want to get like a Tag Heuer or something just ridiculous because they put effort into it.
Yeah, actually that's the watch Linda got me for our 30th anniversary. I have a Tag Heuer.
Nice. I just got a really nice Vistal that's all proper, hands-on engineering, not, just crap, right? And I'm just over the moon with it. Like when I see somebody wearing like an Apple Watch or something, I just can't. I'm sorry, people, but it's revolting to me. I can't stand it.
I can't understand it. I mean, I have a hard enough time seeing the screen of my Samsung Galaxy S8, looking at that little tiny, I'm 58 years old and I just cannot see those little screens anymore.
Well, I just turned 50 myself, Mike, and there's no way I'm dicking around on a phone screen or a watch screen to do anything other than tell the fucking time, man.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I had a guy tell me the other day too that, or not the other day, it's a couple months ago, but he's like, I don't even know why you wear a watch. I just get it off of my, my phone. So I said, well, while you're fishing your phone out of your pocket, I already know what the time is.
Yeah, I will say this, Mike. I did get a Pebble when they first came out, the Pebble watch, right?
Oh, yeah.
And the only time it made any sense to have on my wrist were those moments where I sent somebody a text and their response was okay, because I didn't have to take my phone out of my pocket. All I had to do was look at my watch, and I was like, nothing to worry about here. That was the only time it made sense to me. Other than that, I had this ugly POS on my wrist all freaking day.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, the guy had on his the watch skin he was using was a three dial chronograph screen, like he was wearing a mechanical watch. It was funny.
And to me, it's like it's just an extra device. Like it literally all that stuff is already in your phone.
Yes.
It's already in there. Like, I can walk down the street with my Galaxy S10 or Note 10 Plus, and it'll tell me how far I've walked. I don't need to have a watch to tell me that.
And it's all more easily accessible that way too than it is on your wrist. I mean, how many menus do you have to go through from that little itty bitty screen to get to this one thing?
Right.
Yeah, I don't use one of those either. I'd rather see everything on my screen big. So I just have a regular watch. It's the only thing that's maybe special on it that it shows is the date.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's not even digital. I don't.
Yeah.
They're okay, but I'd rather have just a regular old watch. I've always worn a diver watch because that was a baby. He used to chew on it. He'd short out all my watches, so I wear a diver now, and it's just habit now. Of course, he's 15 and doesn't chew on my arm anymore, but but yeah, it's
that was the kind of watch I started tinkering.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Mike, I actually have a fake Rolex in the house, and it is a proper Oyster Perpetual style self-winding, but it's gimping out a little bit, and it was given to me by somebody I know, and I know it's a fake because I'm not stupid, right? Yeah. But it's an amazing opportunity. I'm going to crack it open and have a play. I cannot wait.
Oh, yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
A lot of those have. When we were on our cruise for our 25th anniversary, we were in some little cafe, I think, in Turkey. And this guy's walking down the street just saying, genuine fake watches for sale. It's hilarious. Real fake watches.
That's like getting a coffee from Starbucks, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh man, I
replicas
love it.
are a big thing these days. They look real, as long as they're saying that they're replicas.
But Mike, how empty is it for somebody to wear a replica or drive a replica when it has none of the engineering talent and passion in it from the people who were supposed to have made it? That is the most empty existence a person could ever have.
Yeah, those movements are usually made in China.
Yep. I mean, if you're a watch aficionado and you appreciate the real engineering behind it, why don't you put 3 years of your life into saving for a real proper timepiece instead of trying to show people with fake bling that you're cool? You're missing the whole point.
Yeah. And it really doesn't, like the tag that I wear every day. You really can't even tell it's a tag. I mean, it just looks like any other chronograph, but it is a proper mechanical watch. And I just love it's a high beat movement, and I just love these watches.
And some people will say that engineering like that doesn't count in the modern age. I'm not so sure about that. To be honest, I think that some of the shrink and size and stuff engineering should be applauded just as much as the old school hands-on engineering. But in a situation where, I know I'm going to ruffle a few feathers here, but where a company like Apple has been literally making their computers a little bit too thin and thermal throttling the performance of them and stuff, where do you take that modern version of excellent engineering, and do you decisively say, no, that's form over function, or that's function over form, or perfect, well done? That's a hard one nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. And I know a guy that he's an Apple guy. Everything he's got is Apple, except
I was as well.
Except his Macs, he swore them off because they were overpriced for what you were getting for the specifications. And
for a time there, Mike, they were 3 years out of date and not updated, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That was bad. That was bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so he's got he's an iPhone guy. He's got he's got his Apple Watch, his Apple TV, but his laptops are no longer Macs because they're just the price point per specification is just not there these days.
Yeah. I left Apple when my cheese grater tower, a dual Xeon, a really nice, powerful system, when it was starting to outdate, I had the choice of the trash can Apple Mac Pro or going Linux Windows style. And I had no choice because when you looked at, I don't care about performance per watt when I'm looking at a desktop system for a creator, right? Yeah. I'm looking at performance per dollar, baby, right? Yes. And I'm sorry, but they missed the boat big time.
Mm. Yeah, exactly.
So now, how's Dr. Bob doing over there with our astro imaging?
So I know he's went off the gut.
Yeah, I'm wondering because it's 8:19 now, and I'm thinking right now he's probably close to alignment and getting ready to give us something. I think we're about 10 minutes away if my guess is accurate, but I could be completely wrong. Oh, yeah, he's setting up still because he didn't even jump in at that point, so we're definitely cool.
Well, he's just unmuted, so he's a...
Oh, there we go.
Ah, for sure.
Oh, look at that. Here we go. I don't know if Boole's even at the computer, but...
Yeah, we're starting to see something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. We'll get Boole to bring that up full screen, and we'll see what Dr. Bob has to say. This will be good. Yeah, we recently on our channel had a bit of an issue with some videos that we were fine for monetization are now being classified not fine anymore. And we have a little bit of a thing going on with YouTube. It got pretty crazy for a bit. I'm not going to go into it right now because that's not really the place for it. But you will see coming up on our community channel a few posts coming up and on our Twitter feed because, wow, do we have a beef to take out. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Hey, Bull. Bull, how's it going over there? Can you bring him full screen? It looks like he's close here. I think we're getting there. I have to learn that heist and points game that everybody plays in the live chat better. I try to play along, but I really have no idea what's going on. I have to learn it. I know how to go into Streamlabs and award people points just because they show up at our streams a lot, to make sure they can play. I know that part of it, but I don't know the other part. I don't really have any idea what's going on.
Yeah, it's kind of fun when you're sitting in the chat sometimes. In fact,
I've won a few, but I didn't really know what I had done. But I will figure it out. I mean, I coded Pac-Man in BASIC back in the day, so I'm pretty sure I can figure out Streamlabs.
One can hope. Oh, wait, what's that? Is that? I don't know.
I just found a note from Bull, and he was like, holy shit, we've been going for 2 hours. I'm stepping out for a cigarette. So that's why we have no Bull right now. He just basically threw us to the wind and said, fuck you. I don't blame him. I would want my cigarette break too. So that's fine. That makes sense. Oh. I'm looking out my window right now beside me, and the sun is still up, and I have a nice telescope behind me, and it's really killing me that I have to look at this and I can't do it myself. Drives me crazy. And I know what's going to happen because Mother Nature is quite the finicky bitch. I am sure that as soon as the cloud or the sun dips below the horizon here for me, the clouds will come in and I will get no telescope time.
Yeah, we have a lot of light pollution around here. Like we're like 5 minutes from the Mohegan Sun casino near us in Connecticut. And the lights coming off of there are so bright that if it's overcast, it reflects off the clouds, and you can almost read in our backyard. It's so bright. So when they're so I really can't see much with my telescope from the backyard that way. Too much light pollution.
Yeah, we have it way better where I am, for sure, judging by your description, because I'm up about 1,200 feet, and then I'm in a slight valley with a small town. And when you put it all together, all I have to do is, even in my backyard, I can get definition of the stripes of Jupiter, and I can see the rings of Saturn. They don't look like ears. They are real rings. But as soon as I just go up the hills away from the lights of the town, holy, the views I get. Like, I have a projector in my living room, and when my son and I in the evening, when we want to watch a movie, it's like 127 inches on the wall of amazing. It's awesome, right?
Wow.
What I want to do is I want to get an eyepiece for the telescope so I can do some imaging, and I want to put like a bed sheet up in a tree so that we can go up camping and sit around the campfire and see the rings of Saturn.
Wow, that would be awesome,
right? Wouldn't that be the best?
It would be. One of the most amazing sky views I ever had was we were at sea when I was in the Navy. I was on a submarine, and we were doing a surface transit, and I went topside at night. Now, we're in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, so we're, I don't know, maybe 2,500, 3,000 miles from the nearest light source. I had never seen that many stars. It was literally a blanket in the sky. I couldn't even imagine looking at that. It took me a few minutes to try to orient myself and find constellations because I wasn't used to seeing them amongst all of what you can actually see. It was amazing because I'm from North Jersey originally,
right?
And you even when we go camping in upstate New York, Pennsylvania and stuff, where it's nice and dark, there's not a lot of light pollution. You still couldn't see stars like this. It was absolutely the most amazing night sky I've ever seen.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, myself, I was a born and raised city boy, right? Rock and roller, on tour of bands and whatnot. And then when I got out of all that and moved to where I am now and ended up getting married and having a child and whatnot, holy, to lay up on the roof of the home that I have now and just look at the night sky compared to what I saw as a child, it's mind-boggling. It's amazing. Oh, I see we're full screen here, and I think Dr. Bob should probably take over right now. Are you ready, Dr. Bob?
Yeah, I'm having some trouble getting it. This is basically a guide scope camera being used on my main scope. It's not really designed to take good pictures here.
Looking good to me right now.
So is that white dot to the left of
that's
center?
Jupiter.
That's Jupiter, okay.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring out the moons.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, you can clearly see the moons.
Let's go full Jovian here and have a really great experience. That would be amazing.
Yeah, we're working on it.
So funny. We thought this episode of the show would be like an hour. Jesus Christ.
2.5 hours later.
Well, like Blue, at least we had nothing scheduled later, right?
Yeah, there you go, Bob. Now
Yeah,
we're
the
seeing
moon's coming out.
Yep.
You've got 3 of them there.
Oh,
Nice.
wow. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Bring it, Bob. Bring it, baby. This is good.
Give me a minute.
That's a luminary in my ass.
Yeah, how do you like that CGI, you fuckwits?
Fuck. My doorbell just rang. I'm sorry, guys. Give me like 2 minutes. Please carry the show. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
It's going to be a pair.
That is absolutely amazing. 3 of them. Look at them. Which is
But the problem is
farthest
I'm
one
not getting any detail on the surface. The camera's not picking up anything.
Yeah.
It's too washed out.
Yeah, well, I think in order to see the moons, you're not going to get any detail off the surface of Jupiter. What was do you know which one's moons there? And one of those orbits is way the hell out there.
Well, yeah, there's 4 of them.
Is that?
Now there's Io, which is the closest one, and then Europa, and then Ganymede, and Calypso.
Is that?
Now the problem is you can't
Damn,
really.
that's impressive.
You would think here on the left that was Io, but I'm not sure because it depends on where they are in the orbit. Here, we'll go ahead and head over to Solarium for a second.
Oh, you can superimpose that?
No, we'll have a look at Jupiter.
Oh, okay.
See where it is.
Yeah.
This is an amazing view when you think about what it is that you're actually looking at here. And then to have people, say they're just dots of light. No, those aren't just dots of light. Okay, there we go.
All right, so that's what we're seeing right now. So remember, this is reverse too. So Europa left side. Ganymede is just coming out Jupiter right now.
Yeah.
Then we'll have Io out here.
Yeah.
And the last one should be Calypso. Callisto.
Yeah.
So, so the view's reversed though when we look at your scope, right?
Yeah. It seems to be.
So here we are. So in the middle here, just to the right of Jupiter, we have Io. Callisto is way out here to the right, and then that's what did I say, Ganymede? No, that was Europa, and then Ganymede is actually right here at the border of Jupiter. You can't quite make it out.
We're not seeing it right
I
now,
don't think
Bob.
we're not seeing it right now.
Yeah. Well, you know what's coming next, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're not seeing your scope.
Yeah, all we can see is your avatar.
Oh, what? You're not?
No.
Are you sharing?
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, are you sharing?
Yeah, I'm not.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
There it is. Yes, knowing how big Jupiter is and how far out Callisto is, that's got to have a huge, huge orbit. Gonna have to look that one up. I didn't know that they had Jupiter had moons with that big of an orbit. Whoops.
Wait for it.
You know, when you see something like this, and you can see the moons, and you can track them and chart them night after night, it's hard to say that they're not physical objects. I just don't understand the thinking behind it. Because this is amazing, and it's predictable, and you can tell what's going to happen ahead of time. And
Talk amongst yourselves for a minute.
yeah, okay.
Well, you can deny anything. It takes no effort whatsoever to
Oh yeah, absolutely.
deny
But
stuff.
doing the test yourself, doing the observation yourself, that's different, and that's what a lot of people don't do. They don't, they just parrot and assume, put out a narrative, and the next thing you know, I mean, this is stuff that people could do themselves, verify themselves. Even if you don't have equipment like this, you can actually rent this stuff. When I go on vacation, or if I go to a ball game or something, I'll take my camera, but I'll rent a lens. I'll rent a really, really good lens for $50 or $60 that would cost me thousands to buy. So you can actually rent this stuff, relatively inexpensively, to do high-end kind of views and see what's going on. If you're going to make a claim about something, you really should be doing a little bit of investigation.
I'm totally getting totally fed up with these nitwits. They can't even read. They can't even read.
No.
The simple descriptions that you find that pop up out of Wikipedia, and understand them.
Yeah. Well, when you find that thing you're actually looking for, you kind of ignore everything else. Because as far as you're concerned, as far as they're concerned, it doesn't really matter, and that's part of the problem. You really can't say. I've had guys telling me, science is on our side. No, it's not, and you can't support that. So don't even bother. And it actually kind of amazes me that someone could actually say that too. I just don't get it. A whole lot of arrogance.
All right. Sorry, guys. Just made it back. I had a little neighborhood emergency there. There was a little one down for the count, and there wasn't a parent around, and I just had to make sure everything was good. But that's kind of how I roll. So, what are you going to do, right?
It's the responsible thing to do.
Yes, I mean, some people have that instinct where you hear a child and that it's, I just don't feel like I'm being treated fairly or something. Or you hear something and an adult is needed right now. Right? And I got that filter. I know what's going on. So I just had to deal with that. Everything's good. All good. I missed some Dr. Bob Astronomy Live, didn't I? Damn.
Yeah, he's I'm not sure what he's off doing right now, but we had Jupiter up, and we could see several of Jupiter's moons.
Oh. The first thing I did, like when I was a child, my father got me a telescope, and it was basically Galileo's. I mean, it was more suited to being an eyepiece to a pirate than it was a cosmologist in waiting, right?
Yeah.
But, when my son was about 4 years old, I thought, let's see what it costs now. And we went down and we scoped out some gear, and the owner of the shop has an autistic child as well. So he said to me, look, we have great deals in Boxing Day, right? It's a couple of months down the road, come and see me then. And he hooked us up large. And we have had such an amazing time getting into it. Like one of my son's favorite books, aside from all of his professional bird watching books, because the child is just all over it, is our Audubon Society book, to make sure we know exactly what we're going to go look at every time we go outside. Like, how
cool.
Proud am I, right?
Yes. That's cool. Hey, and you want to know something? That basic refracting telescope, just eyepiece at one end, lens at the other end, is orders of magnitude better for looking at distant objects than any Nikon P900 ever thought of being.
Well, when you actually understand optics, I did have a printing shop for myself for a while, so I did have to learn a few basics based on, you can tell how this photo was taken and as such and so on. But when you know how to use what you have properly, like EiE, eyepieces, Barlows and stuff, wow, knowledge is amazing, right?
Yes, some people need to get some.
Because, I mean, we only have about 500 invested in our system in total, but I have 3 Barlows. I have a lovely kit where you open it up and there's 6 made whatever lenses in there, eyepieces, right? I've got filters for a few things and stuff. And over time, for my son and I to have how many countless nights of enjoyment, it's cost me way less than the average person would pay for a beater car they get 1 year out of.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something you can use for years and years and years too. I mean, your son can take it with him into his adulthood and future, and still be as useful and as accurate and as clean as it is now.
And when you look at it this way, Mike, once you buy your big tube and you get a proper mount and everything, and you're good. And then you go and you get proper eyepieces, because when you buy a retail scope, all you get is like a 10 or a 20, right? And so when you go to the expense of getting the things you need to really enjoy that hardware, the cost of just upgrading the tube after, compared to what you already invested, like we have a laser columnator and everything, right? Oh, wow. When you put all of that together, after everything we've spent, upgrading that tube to something bigger is not a big deal.
No. It
Right?
is those add-ons, those eyepieces, and those are where the real money is. I mean,
Yes.
you can-
Mike, we scored so big. I
Yeah.
bought the telescope for my son Felix, and about 15 days after we bought it was when it really hit me. Wow, we have a lot of money to spend, right?
Yeah.
But literally within 20 days, we were at a Value Village, and I bought. I saw this box, and it had MEADE across the top of it, and it looked like a toolbox, like a socket set, right?
Yeah.
But I knew that name because I'm now into telescopes again, right? Yeah. So I opened that box, and there was 5 beautiful eyepieces, all in foam and everything, and the whole 9 yards. So I grabbed it off the shelf, and I bought it on the spot for $4.99.
Oh my God.
When I went home and I, figured out the set that I had bought, I'm not even going to tell the retail price because it was stupid. It was stupid.
Yes. Oh my God. That's why can't I find a deal like that?
But can you imagine, Mike, the night that we had when we put those eyepieces on our telescope? It was unbelievable. And then so we went down to the shop that I bought the telescope at, and I was telling the guy I bought this box of eyepieces, and oh my gosh, this is so amazing. And he was like, now I need to introduce you to the world of Barlow's. And on the spot, I spent $150 on 2 different Barlow's. Right? Because I already had those lenses. I figured the Barlow's, if I buy them for $1.50, I'm not actually spending that much money when you consider the value of the eyepieces I just got for $5.
$5. That's amazing.
Yeah. It was awesome. And to this day, this was a couple of years ago. To this day, my son is, anytime we're getting ready for bed and it's a Friday or a Saturday night, if we have a clear sky, telescope, Daddy. And how do you say no? So we stay up till midnight. I mean, who cares, right? It's amazing. I love it.
I was watching that video by Thunderfoot, and that's what he is. He's into astronomy. He does a lot. He goes, he's so into it, he can't remember the last time he actually saw a sunrise because he's up all night.
Yes.
Shooting pictures and tracking stars.
Yeah. A couple of weeks ago, we had beautiful clear skies, and my son's grandma likes to pick him up on a Monday morning, and they go out and they have like a 36, 48-hour time together. My son loves his grandma, right? It's a serious thing. So
that's good.
Yeah, she gets a hold of me, and I'm only just waking up at like 9:30 a.m. or whatever. And she's like, oh, I'm all ready to grab Felix. Yeah, we are only just waking up. What? Astronomy night. Oh, I should have known.
That's great.
Yeah, I love it. I can't recommend it enough to other parents. Put a few $100s aside and get yourself not some dinky little thing, don't, but, look to somebody in the community like myself or Mike. I mean, we're always on Discord and whatnot. Send us a PM. We're more than glad to help. And for only a few $100s, you can send your child on a scientific mission that they may not never recover from, and you will be happy for it.
You get for just a couple $100 too. You get a really decent reflector, and you could see the rings of Saturn. You're not going to get that from the $59 one from Walmart.
No, that National Geographic or whatever set that just looks like it belongs on, the edge of a 12-story building so you can see the view, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the exact thing. But for $225 or $250, you can get like a 4-inch reflecting a Dawson or a Cassegrain or something along those lines, and you can see you could see the planets and see features and surfaces.
Mike, do you remember the first time you saw Saturn's rings, not on a picture, not on the television or whatever, but with your own eyes through an eyepiece?
Yeah, actually, it was from one of the college, small college observatory too. So that was kind of spectacular.
Yeah, I got enamored with it myself when the first time I went to an observatory. I think it was probably 10 or 11. My dad took me out. It's eastern Colorado, very low light pollution out there too.
Mhm.
And I actually saw, like, they were tracking one of the galaxies, one of the closer galaxies.
Wow.
And when you look through the telescope and you realize that dot that you're looking at in the sky is actually billions of little tiny dots.
Yes. That's
and you
amazing.
can make that out, and you can see them. You can see the spiral arm. It was a spiral arm galaxy, much like our own. I think it was actually Andromeda. And it was like, oh, I didn't realize there were that many stars. I thought it was just what you could see. No, there's so much that you can't see without aid. Yeah. But rote optical magnification brings in so much stuff. So much stuff.
Well said, Bull. Bull, since you're live right now, I want to say, since you're Eastern and I'm Pacific, you call the end of the show when it's like too late for you, okay? You got the reins now, right?
Well, I was just gonna say, like, we saw Jupiter, that was awesome, and I think this is a heck of a thing to end it on. So we'll give it another, we'll end it at midnight in another 15 minutes here or so.
Okay, perfect. Well, I think at that point, because of the people that we have and the opinions we have, we should probably get a roundtable going right now. And Blue is a late joiner. I'd like to get Big Blue in. Big Blue, I really hope that we can get you on more pub chats coming forward, because I think this is an absolute beauty forum for you to shine, buddy. What do you think?
I enjoyed this. This has been a great evening. And I appreciate you guys letting me come in. Watching that, seeing that stuff from Bob, that is just outstanding. Man, I don't know how anybody, I'm like you guys, I don't know how in the hell anybody can look at that and say, that's just lights in the sky. Horse shit. That's, God, give me a break.
The beauty, the wonder, the absolute outstandingness of the creation that was involved to get us to where we are in the universe, and to be imaged like that and have some POS called BS. I'm sorry. Wow. Are you missing the plot?
Yeah, we are not being indoctrinated. That is what's coming to us out of the sky. If you can't see that, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, and whether you believe in God or not, it's there, right? I don't. The God question doesn't even matter, because if God created that, that's a heck of a job. You're a good painter, God. Thank you. And if God didn't create it, then the universe. I want to find out how it works, so I know. I'm small, so what? I'm small. I want to learn more. I want to know how this works. I want to get into the mechanics of it. I like that kind of stuff. I love it. So
it's wondrous, no matter what the origin.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It is.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, if God did it, he did a really nice job. Now,
straight.
I would kind of like to know why he insisted on being so damn messy and leaving all that asteroid shit laying around. I'm not sure what good that does us, but yeah.
You know what? I think that's just to keep, Blue, I think that's just to keep us on our toes, just to make sure we're paying attention and following through.
Well, I look at it like the galaxies are like the sparks in a firework. They'll eventually go out. Entropy, that kind of stuff. It's a crude analogy, but it works for me. And that makes the asteroid belts and such. the ashes of the birth of the star at the center.
Yeah, true.
I love this stuff. I love this stuff. So do we Dr. Bob isn't even in the chat right now. I think we lost him right at wrap up time. That's terrible because he gave us so much tonight.
I know, this has been so amazing. And as far as the universe is concerned, I've always been in awe and in fascination of it. I've just when you look up at the stars at night, even the size or even myself doesn't even factor into it. I'm just so fascinated by just everything that's out there, and I do want to learn more. I want to see more. It's just, I've always been fascinated by it. And right now we don't have anything to see it very well with, but I do have a pair of solar binoculars that I did get to see the 2017 eclipse with.
Wow.
You can't tell me that was CGI, because I could see the solid object of the moon pulling away from the front of, from in front of the sun, and you could see the shapes and everything. It was just incredible.
You could see the depth. You could see that there's a distance between those two things. It's obviously 3-dimensional.
Oh, absolutely. You could see the shape as the Matt, honey, I'm talking, okay? You could see the shape of the moon. You could see the sun, behind it that was also shaped. It was, you could tell that there was a distance in between them. You could tell it was not a projection of any kind whatsoever, and why they even think that is beyond me. And you could also tell that the moon is not a light source. So...
I love it. Absolutely. Randolph Richardson in the chat just gave me a note there saying he'll have to join us for.
Nope.
Uh-oh, we lose Dick.
Yeah. I think so.
Am I gone? Am I back? Am I back?
You're back.
Yeah.
Okay. As soon as I heard Boole's voice, I knew something was wrong because, man, that guy is on it. So, going forward, Cheese Mondo next week starting, we'll be doing an after show for the Shills Pub Chat where we hope to get the guests over and we'll all hang out. Pub Chat going forward won't be as long as this one, but, Dr. Bob with the optics and everything, what are we supposed to do? Come on. Would you have stopped the show? Seriously?
Oh, hell no. I let this go, and I'm fine with that. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and that's going to be my wrap up. If you come to me to produce a show that's supposed to last an hour or so, and it ends up taking 3 because we're sitting there stargazing, by all means,
right? Come on, guys. I'm loving this. So I want to put out a massive thank you, Blue Marble Science, for joining us. And Blue, you got to join us for a lot more pub chats coming forward. We're going to have the rotation in the private rooms over on the EiE Network. We'll get you all set up because you got to be here for this, man. This is good.
Thanks, man. I enjoyed it.
Awesome. And Mike, same thing. We're going to get you in the rotation because you have to be on more pub chats. You absolutely owned this episode. That was amazing.
Why, thank you. And I really enjoyed it. This was a good discussion. It was nice to just randomly talk about a whole lot of things, from watches to stars to, stupid. It's really fun. I really enjoyed this thing.
Awesome. Randolph didn't get to hear my call out there, so I'm going to reiterate it. Randolph, not only are we going to get you on the pub chat, but you're going to have to join us on the Shills as well. Absolutely, positively. We will make it happen. On that note, everybody, I think we're done for the night. Pub chat, first pilot episode in the bank. Let us know in the chat and in the comments. Should we keep this up? Do you want to see more pub chat? We really hope you do. They won't be so long going forward because we will be handing over to Cheese Mondo so that he can do an after show for them as well. And we hope to bring the guests and ourselves over as well, and bring in a few of the viewers who have contributed the most to the pub chat episode itself. And then that way you all get to really contribute and be a part of things. But I think I have spoken too long. On that note, Boole, cue the music, baby. Let's all say goodnight. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Catch you on the flip side, folks.
And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.